cops who patrolled this area. They were known as the Pussy Posse. Everyone in this scene was a member of the club. You couldn't get actors to perform this. The owner was a man named Matty the Horse. I know, but he was the head of the Gambino crime family. He was a friend of mine. I sent this film to the ratings with 40 additional minutes, which amounted to pure male pornography. You know, originally Steven Spielberg was going to direct this. The first guy I talked to was Richard Gere. I think he would have been wonderful. And I got a call from my agent, who was Pacino's agent. So we decided to jump off of Richard Gere, and we went to Pacino. It turned out that Pacino had no idea what the vibe was in that place. Pacino was just not listening. He would be walking down the street, and there'd be thousands of people opposing the film, yelling out, "Pacino, you f***ing you little sucker!" I know you throw it in. Oh, yeah, this is a controversial moment. It's a fist fight. When you were researching and you go into those clubs, did you have to obey the dress code? Because I read you said that you went on Dorkside night. Yes, and I was the ugliest guy in the room. Nobody ever hit on me. Uncle Mort had a big beer belly, and I certainly was not in the shape of an Olympic athlete. And we were the two ugliest guys in that club, I'll tell you, in our jockstrap. The rating.
Okay, well, hello, folks. That was Billy Friedkin doing commentary from the film Cruisin'. And I just got back in town like 20 minutes ago. I picked up Popeyes. Here I am. And here's Blue Collar Loser. Blue Collar Beetle.
Blue Beetle.
Blue Collar Blue Beetle. All right. How you doing, buddy?
Funny part, I checked my entire wardrobe. I have no blue shirts. I'm kind of disappointed in myself.
I didn't even try to wear blue. I just happened to be wearing blue. I didn't even think about it. Holy shit.
So I figured I might as well wear Stitch because Stitch is always hungry. So it says hangry on it.
I did not watch Blue Beetle. Did you? You did. You did a video about it?
Yeah. And of course, when Wes pops in the drinker popped in his video. We watched it. And it's funny how I like when people, we agree, we make different points, but everything the drinker said, we hit kind of the same marks, but just in a different style. And much, I gotta agree with everything you said. I watched his video twice today, and yeah, we do things differently, but he made the exact same points I made.
So basically everything the drinker does, you did better and faster. That's what
exactly.
You're trying to say. I got you. I hear you. Well, that's good.
Plus, I don't pretend to be drunk. I really am.
I do like your videos where it's like the Siskel and Ebert style with you and your kid.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's good that, when kids take part in dad's hobby.
Yeah. No, well, the funny part is we talk about Drinker. He said, "Dad, I love creative writing," and he read the Drinker's book and he's watched all his videos. And I said, "Well, technically speaking, buddy, Will Jordan is an author, and he's 16, but he's like, Dad, I really like creative writing. I like scripts and I like Hollywood." And I'm like, "That's a far stretch, son." I'm like, "Have that dream, but just don't bank on it neither."
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where how does he feel when he walks out? It's easy to walk out of a movie like Blue Beetle and be like, I could write that shit.
100%.
I could. It's like 90% of the scripts I have for comic books or movies I'd like to see. They're just movies I would like to see.
Yeah.
It's like, I could do this. It's like, do it like that, but this better. I don't know. Like, come on.
Well, it's definitely the scary part that people talk about in the industry, but there was a time where you could be creative, but now even We Love South Park is always on the fucking pulse. And like, remember Kyle, they're writing scripts out for Disney, and Kyle's like, yeah, now I know how fucking Hollywood writers feel. Because now it's not about writing a script. It's about, before you write the script, make sure you check off this box and this box and this box and this box.
Well, the problem with Kyle is when you see Kyle. You shouldn't see Kyle. Don't see Kyle.
Oh, yeah.
You hear what I'm saying? All right.
Yeah, I had to trim up to go to family court today. I was going to make a post in the drinker group. I was like, forget it. But
boy, yeah, just talk about it here on the show.
I go wait till Wes gets here. Actually, we'll start off with the guys. So I was in, prison, and boy,
God damn it! I just poured this thing. I swear.
And I'm not even exaggerating. Every time I go to family court, I was fucked harder than any time I was ever in jail. It's as a male. So
I think one of the hardest dudes who got fucked was Dave Foley, and that's because he was in Canada. Yeah. And Dave Foley, I don't know if you know him. He's the guy from A Bug's Life and Kids in the Hall.
Okay, yeah.
Well, he's mostly known for doing weird comedy, sketch comedy. He's a fun guy, but he did play the main aunt in A Bug's Life. So he made a big chunk of money. Unfortunately, in California divorce law, like when you get divorced and you have kids, like your child support payments are reflective of like your highest income you've ever made. So like he had to pay some exorbitant amount. Like I'm talking like $20,000 a month because he made millions of dollars one time in 1990 5 or whatever. And he was like doing stand-up comedy, literally going around Canada, the United States, like Dave Foley doing stand-up comedy. And he would just get on the mic and just do like crazy men going their own way. What's it called? Men's rights activism, like just monologuing about how hard he was getting screwed over from the divorce courts. And this is the reason why he's here doing stand-up today. Because he's desperate to like make these ridiculous child support money payments. And then luckily he did get back together with his wife. So he had a happy ending, but Jesus Christ, he had no other option.
Well, thank God we never got married. But having said that, I don't understand our system where, okay, she gets him a week, I get him a week. But basically, if I get my kid 2 weeks and she gets him for 2 weeks, so the 2 weeks that he's with me, why am I still giving you full child support if he's with me and you're not clothing him or feeding him or buying him stuff?
Yeah. Oh, so, I'm sure there's so much weird shit like that.
Yeah. But
I guess we'll save it for when Wes gets here. Back when you were talking about, earlier about how like, writing movies these days, like they're not that great, dude. Me and Megan watched like so many movies this week, including all these William Friedkin movies, but also tons of these just random, 70s and 80s and 90s flicks. Like we watched Serial Mom. See that one? John Waters.
It's been a while, but I did see it. It's been a long time.
Kathleen Turner is a crazy homemaker serial killer. And then we watched
that was a term like, but they used that term back then, like they called it a black comedy,
Now
now
it's called a dark comedy.
I was about to say that. Yep. Now we you can't say the word black comedy no more. It's got to be called dark comedy.
Well, because literally people are stupid and they'll think you're talking about, House Party or Pootie Tang or Booty Call.
Exactly. Yep.
They think you're talking about Soul Plane, when you say black comedy nowadays.
No, that movie was pretty goddamn funny for when it came out.
Yeah, it's like how they don't call, guess what? You know what you call classic rock? That's not classic rock anymore.
Yeah.
What you're thinking of, like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd, that's not classic rock anymore. Now it's called vintage rock.
Yeah.
And classic rock is shit like Pearl Jam and Nirvana. It's what the hell?
I mean, weird. It's 2023. Just think what 2030 and 2040 is going to be like.
Yeah, what are they going to come? Yeah, but why? They're going to start calling Led Zeppelin in 100 years. It'll be called like ancient rock. Like in the year 2073.
It's it's a scary situation, dude, because it is when you see certain movies of a certain era, 70s, 80s, 90s, and before, you feel like these writers had shit they wanted to say, and now it's not so much.
Yeah, someone made a post on the Drinker page about, or it might have been the Drinker page, but it was a post about Mr. Bean doing all of his own driving, in those Mr. Bean episodes, how he would do so many dangerous stunts in that little shitty car of his. And it was cool because, they didn't have all these regulations, and 9 times out of 10, it was just cheaper and easier to just do the stunt himself. So, and plus, Rowan Atkinson is like a professional driver now.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
He's also got a really hot wife and daughter. It's pretty rowdy.
I've heard that, so I gotta look it up.
I mean, yeah, let's pull it up. But yeah, he's like a professional race car driver for fun, like Mr. Bean. I mean, it's
definitely sticking people. I think everyone's so jaded about Hollywood. You always think that certain people go with certain people. Not everyone's a shallow piece of shit. Some hot women, they want an average guy.
Yeah, but also I wouldn't call Mr. Bean average. Like the dude is like he's doing all right for himself, rich. Also, he's definitely like pro comedy, anti whatever the hell's going on, nowadays. And that's the other thing, William Friedkin, R.I.P., he was one of the true ones, I want to play this video because we were talking about cruising. I was playing the videos of Cruisin', the commentary track of Cruisin'. It's very funny, but I don't know. You didn't see Cruisin', did you, with Al Pacino?
Boy, it sounds familiar.
Al Pacino goes undercover in the 1980s, early 80s New York S&M gay nightclub scene. So, holy shit, like super shocking, super graphic, especially for the 80s, like movie about male sex dungeons, and there's basically a serial killer who's like preying on these gay men who happen to look like Al Pacino.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, all right, well, you look like the perps, type. So we're gonna have you be pretend to be gay. It would have helped if he was gay, But what's funny is they kind of make this one part of the movie where they make it seem like, I don't want to spoil it until like if Luke gets in here, we'll talk about it. But basically, like it's kind of like Blade Runner. Like the dude had added like one scene and it changed the whole ending of the movie, where all of a sudden like Al Pacino is also a gay murderer.
Yeah.
And it's like Al Pacino had no idea about it, you know? So he saw the movie and was like, felt like betrayed because the movie basically said, you know, hey, Al Pacino was a cop trying to catch a gay serial killer. And in doing so, he realized he was gay and killed this guy he had a crush on.
Okay.
And none of that shit was a way, like I said, Al Pacino he thought he was like, you know, goes undercover, catches the bad guy, and that's the end. He didn't realize there was all this like, you know, closet homosexual undertones in the movie. So I want to play this interview. Let me know if you can hear this.
I was asking the question because of the end of Cruising.
Is that right?
Because what you wrote in your biography, that's a one shot kind of changed the plot. The character of Steve, played by Al Pacino, and Pacino he felt dispossessed of he felt as he had lost the
I don't
character.
give a flying fuck into a rolling donut about what Al Pacino thinks. Is that an answer to your question, Greg?
Yeah, it's the straightest answer I could.
I mean, I could be sitting here for an hour
Oh my God.
and try and explain it, but that's a fact.
Now, he could have ended it right there and just been like, I don't care what Al Pacino thinks. But then he says this next part, and that's even more insulting because what he does is, I'll show you.
You know,
Of course.
I cared a lot, for example, about what Tommy Lee Jones thought, because this guy was a brilliant, professional, prepared actor. And he would
the
think
best
about
shit
his
talking.
character more than the director, more than me. He would come to the set with absolutely brilliant ideas. And I don't feel the same about Pacino.
So not only do you talk shit about Al Pacino, but then you compliment someone
Else.
like way less, you know, whether deservedly or undeservedly, like, you know, the Tommy Lee Jones doesn't have same credentials as Al Pacino, even though he's just as storied as an actor. He doesn't have all the Oscars, you know.
Yeah.
But then he starts complimenting Tommy Lee Jones, like, Tommy Lee Jones, that guy's a professional. That guy, if he told me something, I'd listen.
Yeah.
Al Pacino, I don't care.
It's when Lord of Toxic gets here that throughout history, man, it's constant, not even just actors, it's entertainment in general. It could be athletes, it could be singers, it could be actors, that some of the best people of all time, some of your greatest musicians were fucking drug addicts. They were deadbeat fathers or deadbeat husbands, but goddamn, their music was legendary. And same thing with Hollywood, man. It's like some of the best actors of all time off screen were pieces of shit. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, I assume all actors and musicians are just shitheads. And then when you hear about one of the good ones, like Jeff Daniels, you're like, oh, nice.
Yeah.
You mean he's not a terrible asshole? Cool.
That's why Keanu was such a fuck. Everyone just, the universe loves Keanu. And even back to earlier when his current girlfriend came out, and everyone just, they expect Keanu Reeves to be dating like Leonardo DiCaprio, dating some 20-year-old. His girlfriend's like 45, has some gray hair, and you know, not ugly by any means, but she's not like Hollywood Playboy bunny good looking. She's just like for an average woman. I mean, good for Keanu Reeves dating a just what an average person. He doesn't have need to date a fucking supermodel.
Well, that's the thing about a lot of rock stars. You know, they get beautiful, you know, starlit babes like tossing their pussies at him, and then when they finally decide to settle down, it's like, hey, I could settle down with a 5. You know, I've been with so many 10s. Most guys die never being with a 10, you know?
Yeah.
Like most men, like 10s are so like rare. You know, I probably only met like 1 or 2 10s in my life, you know?
A buddy of mine said that because I'd said years ago, like how, like I'll just say, for example, like I think Halle Berry is just fucking gorgeous. Like how could any man cheat on Halle Berry or Angelina Jolie? My friends like Chris, a wise man once said that for every hot chick, there's a guy that's bored of fucking her.
Yeah.
And
I mean, men are pigs, I guess, but then you got like these women shaming fucking Keanu Reeves.
I seen that today. Yeah. Yeah.
He's got disgusting dad bod. He's almost 60 years old, dude. What are you talking about? This guy's chilling.
That's what the drinker. Well, actually, the drinker tweeted us today. I was checking the drinker's Twitter.
Oh yeah, I was driving all day, so I'm kind of behind today. I was
Like,
just kind of
like when the drinker put down, he's like, yeah, he's like, I could say one thing. I guarantee you, Keanu Reeves is in better shape than the asshole fucking took this picture.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, I guarantee you that. Or the person who wrote the article, the headline,
Yeah.
definitely that person.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he definitely has this like Jesus Christ, Jim Caviezel in the passion body, which is
Yeah.
fine.
And people have talked about this for years, and I'm glad that I do read more insider information. When Thomas Jane did his Punisher film, he always said, "Guys, I'm never like out of fat. I mean, out of shape, like really fat, but I was in a certain shape for the Punisher. But when I get done filming the Punisher, I'm back to drinking beer, eating donuts, eating fucking pizza." He's like, I'm not in that shape year round. Very very few, except for like The Rock, because The Rock is filming. Love him or hate
Batista.
him. Yeah, the Rock and Batista, they're always filming a new fucking project, and The Rock has to look that way for every single fucking film. Keanu doesn't. So it's like even Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth got that big. Thor 4 was the biggest he ever got, and he's 41 years old.
But then you've got your Jared Leto's and your Christian Bales, these guys who will like transform their body. Because like that's the thing. It's like Jared Leto. You saw him fat right in chapter 29 or whatever, where he played Mark David Chapman, who killed John Lennon.
No,
you
I
ever
didn't
see that one?
I've
Well, the
heard of
movie
it,
was
but,
the movie was okay. I mean, I'd recommend watching it once, but yeah, like his body transformation was out of this world. And the thing about Jared Leto, he got fat like this as a flex, for some shitty movie nobody watched. And he said he did it super easily. He just before bed, he would take 2 pints of Ben and Jerry's ice cream and put them in the microwave, and then he'd drink them, and then he'd go to bed. And he did that every day, and he gained weight like no one's business, and it's all in his face too. Like it's pretty good, man.
Not to mention, and how often does this happen? They'll show pictures like, remember this guy Chadwick Boseman? Oh my God, look, he looks like so weird looking, and he looks like he could be on drugs. And
we all knew he was dying for sure. We saw those pictures of him. And we're like, dude, that's not right.
How many tabloids were fucking making fun of him? And boy, them people
I don't think people were let alone making fun of him. Everyone was basically. I mean, I remember that happened, and definitely the tone on Twitter and the tone like Ethan Van Sciver and the Jack Show, like they definitely. I remember making fun of it. But like not making fun of it. Definitely like the joke is like this guy, there's something wrong with him. He doesn't look healthy.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like, oh, he looks too skinny and needs to get jacked. People were seeing Chadwick Boseman at these red carpets and they're like, dude, has he got cancer or AIDS?
Yeah.
Turned out he had cancer. We knew it was something.
Yeah, but sometimes, but for all people know, this actor gained or lost a ton of weight. Then come to find out, oh, hey, there's a new film coming out that this actor gained or lost 50 pounds. So that's why they look like that for.
No, of course. But that's the thing is like, it's not easy to do that shit, even with people paying you and training you. Like Jared Leto, he was just like I said, like, yeah, watch me get all fat and then watch me get all flexed out and jacked again easily. Yeah. Watch me. Same thing with Christian Bale. Like that motherfucker, like obviously he fucking wrecked his body too. Getting real skinny and then getting all jacked again for the Batman and the Machinist. And then, he kept getting lean and jacked. And then he got fat for Dick Cheney.
And not to mention, a lot of people, I'm not sure, sometimes we could do a rewatch. He did Rescue Dawn, and he lost a shitload ton because he did Rescue Dawn after Batman Begins. And so then he had to bulk right back up for The Dark Knight because he dropped like 50 fucking pounds for Rescue Dawn because he was a POW starving, him and Steve Zahn. And that was a pretty good movie. Yeah,
but he got so bulked out so fast for the first Batman movie that he fucked his back up. That's why he never got that. I don't think he ever got that huge again. Just like Edward Norton, he got super huge in American History X.
Yeah.
Like when he was walking around without a shirt, everyone was like, is that him? Like, who the fuck is that? He got huge, man.
Yeah, I always love seeing like a Facebook story pops up. This guy to show some kid 21 years old and is like, here's me with a big beard belly. Here's me 2 years later. The guy's all fucking ripped. And of course, every comment, remember, boys and girls, whenever somebody's in better shape than you, it's because of steroids. It couldn't be, dietary or hitting the gym or it's been 2 fucking years or just really good discipline. Oh, it's steroids. Like, no, like I've proved the past month, I don't look it. I've dropped 10 pounds this month and I'm not taking creatine or fucking steroids. It's just good old fashioned diet and exercise. And if an average Joe like me can drop 10 pounds in 1 month, imagine if I had a personal trainer or a fucking personal chef, what I could do in a month. Come on. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Well, what did I see the other day that was like hilarious? Hilarious transformation. Where the fuck are you? Yeah, dude, this kind of shit. It's like, it's so amazing. The transformation. Just 6 months on estrogen, and look at the amazing transformation. Look how different. Look how amazing this transformation is. It's like I can't even recognize this person anymore. Here's another one. This was fucking ridiculous. It's like this guy basically just shaved. And this is a person bragging about, like, I've been on 4.5 years. This is 2 years of hormone therapy.
Yeah, besides a haircut, and you got some more neck fat. I don't.
I mean, also, I don't know. Keanu looking good. Basically, that's the whole point of that. Whoa, Tyler's here. Hey, dude.
What's up?
Yeah,
I didn't think you were gonna pop in, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna stick around for, but
No worries.
Saw what you guys were talking about, and I just sat there and went, "Yeah, if nothing else."
Right. How many shots did Russ do for your Frozen video here? Because I didn't watch it yet. I was driving.
It's funny as hell.
I'd say 6 or 7, just going off the top of my head. That was the last thing I had to edit, and it took me a few days to sort that stuff out because work has just been such a shit show. And just finally today, I was able to render everything together because I wasn't originally going to put the CinemaSins sound effect every time you took a shot, but I just sat there and like, you know what? People are not going to pick up on that joke unless I throw in a sound effect or something.
Yeah.
like
Dude,
that.
if I could turn that 6-hour Ninja Turtles thing into a 2-hour bleep fest, you can do it, man. I know it's not that. I mean, that was a pain in the ass. But
I've always liked CinemaSins. People give them guys shit, but like there is a lot of comedy in CinemaSins.
yeah, but it's
There's-
just like
there's
such
a fair
nitpicking. Such nitpicking. Cinema Wins was always better in my opinion.
Yeah.
I never got into that. There was one.
Yeah.
It's way hard. It's way easier to just come up with a list of like fucking pejoratives for a movie, you know?
Yeah.
You know, there was a series they were doing with another YouTuber, like how to make a Michael Bay movie, how to make a Shyamalan a Ding Dong movie in like X amount of minutes, where they just go through all the cliches that we either love or love to hate.
Yeah.
They did. My favorite was probably when they did. So you want to make a Nick Cage movie? Well, you came to the right place. Yeah. And you know, same stuff, same compilations of him screaming all the time. And I gotta say, after watching that, I gotta put Honeymoon in Vegas on my watch list because just seeing him scream at Ben Stein, and of course, I don't know why the line of him saying, "Then what? I'll be arrested, put in airport jail." I don't know why. I don't know why. That's not even the loudest one, and it just cracks me up more than the fucking bear suit.
Yeah. Oh, the bear suit's good. Me and Megan watched David Caruso and Jade, and I was talking about, dude, you need to see Kiss of Death with Nicolas Cage. That movie, that's Nicolas Cage on fire, dude. He's so awesome in that one. It's like a jacked up, like you're talking about guys who got huge for their roles.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember his name, but he's like got like a broken nose bandage and he's just like constantly bench pressing and fucking doing drugs and shit.
That does remind me, like back when I was a huge fan of Stuckman, he had that Screen Junkies thing where he had like First and Worst, and the last ever episode he did was on Nick Cage freakouts. And the worst in the best possible way that he picked was Deadfall, when he's in the restaurant and he just randomly screams "fuck" for 30 seconds straight. But it was when somebody like accosts him and he just goes, "Hi fucking yeah." And like I was on my bed for 20 minutes just struggling to breathe. I could not believe that was.
I think I forgot to talk about it last week, but his freakouts in what's it, not Once Bitten, Kiss of the Vampire's Kiss. We forgot to talk about Vampire's Kiss last week with the Dracula stream, but dude, he is so insane in that one.
Everybody knows Vampire's Kiss just for that reason. So
I love him best in Raising Arizona. I think that's my favorite of his movies anyway, regardless of his role or his performance. Like I think that one's just so wonderful. And he's also, go ahead.
I was going to say, lately, my favorite of his has been Mandy, particularly the second half when you get the very movie that you were expecting going into
rules.
it. Oh, yeah.
I saw that movie high as fuck, man. And it was like,
See, I tried that. In the second half, for whatever reason, did nothing for me while I was high. And I'm just sitting there thinking, wait, am I more calm during this? Like, I should not be more calm during this.
Yeah, I want that goo that he licks.
Oh, the
the super acid or whatever, the fucking slime that he fucking touches his tongue and he's just
yeah, Josh and I did like a double feature commentary on Mandy and I think Color Out of Space.
That's the one that should be the double feature for that one for sure.
And Josh had this great theory about how that stuff that he licks and he gets that premonition that it's communion wine and how there are a lot of religious allegories in there. And I just sat there and I went, huh. Yeah. Wouldn't have thought of that.
I like these religious allegories in the movies because it's like it's extra scary when it's like, you know, like what was it, Midnight Mass or The Exorcist, back to William Friedkin. Just like, you know, that's why I don't want to watch this new Exorcist movie. I kind of have to.
Nobody wants to see it.
That is so lame how it was like, because in the first one, it's like, all right, we've tried everything. We've tried all science. So now we've got kind of Hail Mary, if you so to speak, pun intended. We're going to just kind of ask the priest to do an exorcism. Yeah. Catholic priests. Apparently the Catholic religion is the one that's working against the demons. But in this new one, it's like, we've got to use all the religions. We need a Quran and a Torah, and we need it all. And it's just like, oh God.
Call him Buddha.
Wait, did they say that? I don't get that.
I have a feeling that's what's happening. They alluded that in the trailer. There's definitely like,
I don't know. To me, they're just pulling what David Gordon Green did with the Halloween reboot, which is just bring back the old lady from the original, and that'll be enough. Because
I like how it's like, okay, so we have one girl being possessed by the devil, but in this one, it's two girls being possessed by the devil.
And the sad thing is, they're
like, brilliant. They're like, yes, we'll give you all the money you want.
Well, here's the thing, like, you could technically do something with it. Like when the trailer showed them going missing, I just sat there and went, oh, this is a mystery thriller, kind of like Prisoners, but mainstream. Okay, then they bring him back, and I just sat there and went, wait, what? You were gone for 3 days and they're possessed, and I'm just sitting there going, okay, this is actually kind of interesting. But then the Exorcist piano music comes up. They show the Ellen Burstyn cameo, and I just sat there and went, you have got to be fucking shitting.
She's not even a cameo. Yeah, she's like, I'm the only one who could do something about this. It's like, oh God. She's Sarah Connor in the new Terminator. You know, she's Jamie Lee in the Halloween new makes. That's what we'll call them now. These sequels, new makes.
Yeah, it brought me...
Trademark that.
Two things came to mind. One, you couldn't get Ellen Burstyn back as Max for the Mission Impossible movies, but she said yes to this. That I find really weird. The second one being the fact that Linda Blair has anything better to do other than be in this. Because, like, she was the possessed one. She has technically more experience than the mother. So you would think that they would find some way, or at least hire a lookalike of Linda Blair, which, I don't know. Did Blair quit acting after everything that happened to her? Because...
What happened to her? She had some
health
problems.
Well, I thought that TV movie that she did where she was like the girl in juvie kind of fucked things up for her. And I've seen little bits of Born Innocent, and yeah, I don't recommend it just on a cringe level of what the fuck were they thinking?
She was one of those girls who she started out young in The Exorcist, and then she made those sequels. Yeah. And then, she wanted to kind of keep her career up, and she realized she had a fucking amazing body. So she started posing nude, doing that kind of stuff. She was in that roller boogie movie, which is a guilty pleasure of mine.
What?
Roller boogie. You guys never saw roller boogie?
I just saw this pop up here. I didn't actually.
Been a while.
You should look up Linda Blair nude. It's one of those things where it's like most of these actresses, they get nude, and you're like, cool. Linda Blair got nude, and you were like, damn. I did not realize.
I'm pretty sure it was like Steve-O, and that she'd rather be naked than wear fur, but that's a different story.
And that's the other thing is Linda Blair. I think it's like she was comfortable with her sexuality and her comfortable with the fact that she was very hot, and I think it's one of those things where it's uncomfortable watching, a young girl like that, become, you take your, Selena Gomez's type characters, they get famous playing little children. And then next thing you know, they're just like, you blink and they're 21 shaking their asses on TV. And you're like, Jesus.
Well,
you grow up, little girl. Calm down.
Fortunately for Selena, she hasn't gone that far yet. But
yeah,
that was more Demi Lovato and Miley Cyrus that kind of had those uphill battles.
You know, it's another good. I like the sequel to Exorcist, not part 3, but not part 2. But I'm talking about the Leslie Nielsen comedy version called Repossessed, where Linda Blair gets repossessed again.
Oh God,
that was a weird movie, man. Leslie Nielsen was like in every slapstick style comedy you could think of back then.
I remember that too. Because the only part I remember is he throws up back on her. He's like, "How do you like it?"
Yeah, they all vomit on each other.
Wait, Scary Movie 2 did that.
Yeah. There's also, I wouldn't be surprised if Scary Movie 2 ripped off Repossessed. There was another great.
It did, because like James Woods and Andy Richter, for whatever reason, how the fuck did they blackmailed James Woods into doing that cameo?
James Woods is awesome. He's hilarious. I like how he got blocked by Elon Musk on Twitter.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so like Elon Musk, you haven't heard about this? Elon Musk talking about how, hey guys, FYI, we're getting rid of the block feature, and people were like, everyone was like, that's not a good idea, man. Because like, you have to understand, like some of these right-wing activists and left-wing activists, they're like, you don't understand like how hard these troll armies can brigade you.
Yeah.
The block feature is essential. Also, if you want to sell an app on the Apple Store or the App Store or anything, you have to have a block feature for social media. It's essential.
Yeah, that reminds me, when did the name of Twitter change? Because
everyone's still calling it Twitter. Nobody's calling it X. I mean, people are like ironically calling it X. I've been calling it Twixer. You know,
I still call it Twitter, but yeah.
Tweeting.
It's like there's a freaking gas station behind my house that's changed its name like 3 or 4 times, and we all call it the same thing that it was 20 years ago. So I feel like it'll have that same effect.
Right. And the other thing that's interesting about Twitter, I mean, like I said, they have the they got the new Twitter person in charge, and we're noticing a change in temperature. We had my boy, the human sunbeam, Uncle Ethan. He got suspended for sharing an illustration of a man auto-fellatiating himself, and it was a crude illustration. And it's like, dude, there's all kinds of porno and stuff on the website, so I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean,
I know that from experience.
It was what is it called? These false flagging campaigns, and he got technically suspended for threats of violence. He said it was someone talking about the Nazis, all these Nazis in comic books, and he's like, "This is you fighting the Nazis." There was a picture of a guy crouched over, sucking his own dick. And it was like a crude, simple, like 5-line illustration. You know what I mean? But anyway, back to Repossessed.
Yeah. It's funny how many I don't know why. I remember every single Leslie Nielsen movie from the 80s and 90s because I was a kid, but he did like 50 of them. Like, fuck.
We watched Surf Ninjas recently, but the spoof ones, there's Spy Hard, there's Wrongfully Accused, there's Naked Gun 1, 2, and 3, there's Dracula Dead Loving It, Airplane. Spy Hard, yeah. With my favorite part in Spy Hard is when Al Yankovic is doing the intro song. It's literally like Weird Al Yankovic, like one of the Bond girls, like singing in front of like a collage, a montage. And there's the part in the credits where it's like, original song by Weird Al Yankovic. Weird Al looks at it, he's like, hell yeah, that's me.
Did you guys watch I was gonna say, did you watch the Daniel Radcliffe Weird Al film?
Which one? I've seen parts of it. Josh has seen it all the way through, and he said it was basically like Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story.
Oh, weird,
Weird Al, which is
fun.
That's exactly what you want from it. But
it was definitely pretty meta because like they like everything that's true sounds unbelievable. So then they add a bunch of like unbelievable shit in there too. So it's like you have no idea what parts are real.
But the cameos were just ridiculously hilarious. I mean, Jack Black as Wolfman Jack. David Dastmalchian as the one guy from Queen that nobody knows the name of. That was Except me, because I think that John Deacon actually wrote some of Queen's best songs. But
they all wrote some of Queen's best songs. That's why Queen's the best band.
you know what I mean. Like, people just remember Deacon as writing Another One Bites the Dust, but he's got like Dragon Attack, which I think is super underrated for Queen.
Ooh, that's a karaoke one I should do.
Most people don't even know it's Queen because the bass sounds a lot like a Billy Squier kind of thing. But
yeah, but Queen does so much genre bending, you know.
It did, yeah. Well, it did. Now that they got rid of Fat Bottom Girls, I've lost a little bit of respect for them. But
what do you mean they got rid of Fat Bottom Girls? What does that mean?
What do you think it means?
It's like they'll no longer play it or something?
Yep.
Like the radio will play it though, right?
I think they're sucking up to the mob on that one.
Jesus Christ.
I think.
All right.
I can't guarantee.
I mean,
that.
what about? I mean, Lizzo. Like, I thought we wanted fat women. What? I don't understand the mixed signals here. Fat bottom girls. They make the rockin' world go round. How is that not fat body positivity?
Well,
Boy.
It is a song about a guy who basically got a fetish for big ass women from his maid. So it's pretty weird.
You guys say that, and it just reminds me of a Who's line fill of like the worst thing to say on a first date, and that guy just goes, "Oh, I see. So when you wrote bubbly on your ad, you meant fat."
Dude. There's a part on this movie, Repossessed. It's his name's Father May I. So there's lots of stupid jokes about that. But sure. Father May I, Leslie Nielsen, he's like telling the story. And there's this woman in the front row who's just like dressed like a whore. She's got like this skirt that's like riding up her ass. And she's in like one of those little student chairs. And she's got this like low cut top. And fucking Leslie Nielsen's trying to tell the story. And he's like stammering over his words, like looking at this woman's legs. And he tells her, she's like, "Ma'am, can you please lower your dress a little?" And she's like, "Sure." And she just pulls her tits out. And that's the joke. That's the joke. You know what I mean? It's just like, yes, hell yeah. That's the kind of shit I like in my PG-13 rated movies.
Speaking of Enzo, I did check out Linda Blair naked and holy shit.
Yeah, right.
Goddamn.
She was banging in those 80s, man. Woo. Linda.
Well, like you said, when I was a kid, the fact that they got Linda Blair to do this film, it's like, wow.
What if she starts like talking like the fucking Exorcist when she's like getting dirty? You know, would that be a turn on or a turn off?
Not sure.
You know, her head starts spinning around. Your mother sucks cocks in hell.
I was thinking more of the lines of "now kindly undo these straps," but
there you go.
That works too.
No, that one yours is better for sure by miles.
I don't even find The Exorcist all that scary, and I remember that part.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to talk about it in great detail on October 18th, I think, the day before the new one comes out on Cannoli Sasquatch's channel. So I'm excited about that.
Someone tells me if I do end up seeing it, someone tells me I'll be high as a kite and Josh will be sitting next to me. But
Repossessed?
That's if no.
Exorcist 2. The new Exorcist. No, this movie's stupid as hell. You will watch halfway through and be like, this is retarded.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking at Linda Blair and I'm already thinking that. But
I liked the Halloween remake sequel, Halloween 2 again, but I did not like Halloween 3 again. Does that make sense?
Nobody does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you guys doing?
I saw my channel. And I remember watching it thinking, you know what? I can't even review this. It's just that fucking terrible. It's like, oh man.
Oh, you don't know how many movies I've had that reaction to this year.
Dude, I watched so many good movies over at Meg's place this week. I watched not even all these Friedkin movies I want to get into if Luke gets in here. If he doesn't, man, we'll just kind of
I can't picture that happening at this time of night.
Yeah, I mean I get it. It's like one of those things where he's like, I'm whenever you want. And I'm like, are you sure? Like it's fine if not.
Yeah, tell him not to go David Goggins on all of this.
It's like, dude, I got no problem streaming at 4 a.m. with you guys. It's like, I do. Your wife's like, where are you? No, as far as other movies I saw that weren't William Friedkin, we watched back to Keanu Reeves' Dad Body. We watched Knock Knock with Ana de Armas, and that was like, yeah, no wonder everyone saw that movie and was like, who's this lady? Who's the Spanish lady? She needs to be in more movies. There's something about her.
I got that reaction from Blade Runner 2049, and when she
had you seen Knock Knock yet?
I hadn't. I still haven't. But
I saw Blade Runner 2049. And I was like, "Ooh, the babe from Knock Knock."
Yeah.
There she is.
See, I was so blown away by her performance in that, and I was just thinking, you know what? I'd be doing her a service by like remembering her name in my video. And then Knives Out and Blonde and all this stuff came out, and I just sat there and went, "Huh? Do I have a good eye for talent or what?"
She does a good little Chihuahua impression. That's for sure. That was weird.
Funny is we mentioned Knock Knock. I was driving home with my kid and my friend after having dinner, and the TikTok popped up for the. Well, Tyler doesn't know this, but there's a scene in Knock Knock when he's on a chair, and some people call it overacting or bad acting. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's like that scene. I like.
Yeah,
it.
that's the thing. Keanu Reeves. I don't think I've never heard Keanu Reeves scream in pain like that. So you're like, oh, he's bad acting, but you're like, I don't know, man. Maybe that's just how Keanu would scream. I've never really heard that.
Well, here's the thing. I've seen the cheating Evan part where he's like buried in the ground, and I kind of know the outcome of that, but like Eli Roth just confuses the hell out of me.
Yeah, he's something wrong with that boy. I mean, the thing is, there's nothing wrong with Keanu Reeves in that movie, but there is a lot wrong with the character Evan and his actions. Day one, I would have started smacking bitches. You know what I mean? I would have been like, get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. He's like getting stabbed in the fork with a fork and still not throwing any blows. He gets untied at one point and he goes for the neck on one of these girls and kind of shakes her. It's like, dude, you should like elbow into the wall, like crush her skull. Like, you know, you have to incapacitate these women. They're dangerous. They're here to kill or something, or make you think you're going to die. That's the other thing. California.
Okay. You're making his action figure in Toy Story 4 sound like a badass.
Oh yeah.
He's good. I will give him this. He was one of the few parts in that movie that was actually good. I had no idea he could raise his voice that high.
Yeah, man. I want to hear. I mean, because he was great. Michael Keaton was great as Ken in Toy Story 3, and then Keanu Reeves is that he wasn't Evil Knievel, but he was some kind of Evil Knievel doll.
Yeah,
I think his name was like Duke Kaboom. He was very specifically a Canadian action figure because why the fuck not would he be? That's the other thing. I don't even think they say what state the Toy Story movies take place in, because I, for the life of me, can't remember.
We assume California.
It's wherever Pizza Planet is, you know?
Or Dynaco, which somehow made it into Cars. That was the weird thing. Like, when I rewatched that for my channel, and I just sat there and went, how the fuck did you guys remember all of these references and shove them in later on? Like, you guys really were nerds. And I mean, every Pixar movie has like the A113 to pay tribute to their animation class, so that wasn't really a huge surprise.
You get such encyclopedic knowledge of a film you like edit. Like, that's what I'm learning over these like watches. Like, you could ask me like a joke I told, and I'd be like, it was in that episode around that time. You know how I know? Because I had to edit these videos, so I don't remember. I remember this shit at this point. Like, it's never leaving my head. So like when you're like these animators, you're like, oh yeah, that number we put on that obscure door fucking 2 movies ago, let's put it on the license plate just so idiots can nerd out about it.
They put it on every door. Brad Bird put it in Ghost Protocol when he made it.
Yeah. It's an inside joke, and I'm like, man, I get it, but I also am not laughing. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's like a wink kind of joke. It's not like a ha type joke.
I was gonna say self-indulgent, but that works too.
It's a little kind of like, nudge, say no more. Wink, eh? Say no more.
That used to be. I don't think Luca or Soul or anything like that did any of those references, but
I think it's like specifically like after WALL-E. And I think Brave. That was like the beginning of the beginning of the end right there.
Yeah, I hated WALL-E even when I was a kid.
You didn't like WALL-E? I did like WALL-E, but I mean, I think WALL-E was like the last like great Pixar movie. I mean, and even then, it's still bottom tier compared to the other excellent ones.
It was the second half that really lost me, because like the first half was just the 2 robots on Earth. Like, that stuff was great, but when it becomes this preachy environmental movie, I literally said this to my therapist a couple of days ago. I hate environmental movies because they seriously think you've never seen one before.
Yeah.
What's up, Toxic?
Yeah, I agree with him. I think that definitely Wally would have been fine with just being a kind of lost on a deserted island, Wally all by himself type movie.
Everyone's too fat in the future. Yeah, it definitely had
Well,
this like Soylent Green.
And Fred Willard is the only live action person for some reason that never got explained.
Are you on your phone, Toxic?
Yeah, why? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you have
Background noise.
headphones. You might want to put headphones on if you can. Can you put headphones on, maybe? Because we're getting a little bit of background noise. Just getting a little bit of background noise. Or turn your receiver volume down, Tad.
Okay.
It's like the radio, Caller, turn down your radio.
It's like a CB radio.
How's that, better?
Or
worse?
Yeah, that's better for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't tell if it was us feedbacking or if there's like a TV in the background. It's okay.
No, it's probably me. I have fans in the office. So
did you send I sent you this link a while ago. Sorry, I don't know if you were busy or you just saw it or
yeah, no, I got it a while ago. I was on the phone with a client, so I was trying to get that done.
Cool, no worries. As far as what else you guys watched this week that was pretty good?
I thought
Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle was not bad.
Yeah, that's what everyone's like meh, but meh is like not cutting it these days. That's the problem.
No,
Movie
yeah. If it had come out 10 years ago,
5 years ago,
it would have been awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Wes. I told Enzo there. I watched Drinker's video today. I'm like, as usual, but everything Drinker said, I'm like, yeah, he's not wrong. I agree.
My big problem with Blue Beetle is Blue Beetle's a famous El Paso character. He's based out of El Paso, and it's like a fucking huge like Hispanic, Mexican, Latino, center point, and it's also like topical right now. And for some reason, they're like, let's make him live in L.A. like every other fucking Mexican dude, or every person, every person in every movie is New York, L.A. It's like,
even Young Justice, because like season 2 of this one cartoon Young Justice, where Blue Beetle was essentially the main character in this ensemble, they got that part down.
Yeah.
I would love to see a movie like kind of with backdrop of El Paso, El Paso Juarez, just that border town aspect,
Here's my question too. Like, why was he a college grad? You couldn't keep him as a high school kid like he was before. Like that kind of made him.
I didn't remember that.
More interesting. Well, that's the only Blue Beetle that I have any frame of reference with, and it made the conflict between him being the regular guy and Scarab being this homicidal maniac. Who was a guy prehistorically. I'm not sure why Becky G of all people was the Scarab. I can't imagine what that would sound like coming out of her, because I just picture her as like the one Power Ranger that nobody remembered from that remake.
Becky G?
She's a singer.
Yeah, she did that.
I think I've never heard any of her songs.
She does that song that's on TikTok all the time called Shower.
I've never had TikTok in my life, and I never will. So,
yeah, okay. But you hear some of these meme songs. Dude, I do some of the meme songs at karaoke, and fucking the bartenders freak out. Oh no! Oh no! 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 Boo-doon.
Yeah.
Ducking in the rain. Doo-doon. Everyone's like, "Gee, I know this song from TikTok." It's like, yeah, you guys are easy to please.
Yeah, they are.
What did we watch the other day? Me and Megan watched a movie that was so charming and so old school and so like they don't make movies like that anymore. It was based on a play, but it's on Golden Pond with Henry Ford and Henry Fonda. Henry Fonda and Katharine Hepburn. Yes, it was so fun. It was charming.
Seriously.
It was like a movie. It was great. I loved it, and I knew Toxic would shit all over it. It was fun, man. And the thing about it was like one of those movies like your teacher in English class would like play on like a slow day.
Oh, Jesus.
Because it was like one of those types of movies, but it's the type of movie that after it's over, the whole class would have been like, I loved it. It was so good. Oh, I'm so glad we watched that. Catherine Hepburn, she's like at the end of her life and she's doing that voice where she has the Parkinson's disease and she's shaking and saying, you old poop.
Except for Jane Fonda giving up private information from Vietnamese POWs, American Vietnamase POWs to the fucking VC. Except for that, yeah, I'm totally on board. Yeah, totally fine. Jane Fonda.
That was one of the things. Oh yeah, Queef, I sent that link in if you want to come in if you're not busy. Rolling Donuts. Yeah, it said the Rolling Donuts thing is a quote from William Friedkin I played earlier. It's I couldn't give a flying fuck into a rolling donut what Al Pacino thinks.
Love it.
It's just like,
Love it.
Wow. And then
Love it.
He's saying sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but it's just like I could talk about it for hours and I don't want to. I could just sum it up like that. I don't care what he thinks. And then he fucking makes it even worse by saying but Tommy Lee Jones. If you had an actor like Tommy Lee Jones,
a great actor,
I would listen to him. But I will not listen to Al Pacino. Tommy Lee Jones is a professional and knows what he's doing.
I respect the fuck out of William Friedkin for saying that. Good for him.
Yeah,
good for him.
But anyway, it's back to what were we talking about? Blue Beetle. I don't know.
Well, I was gonna say, I think Enzo, as I was watching it, I'm not sure Tyler as much if you would like the potty humor, but as me and my son were watching Strays, I'm thinking Wes and Enzo, if we had some fucking beers, at least 5 scenes, I can see the two of you just bust out fucking laughing. Like, it's very juvenile, Ren and Stimpy type humor, and it's like lowbrow. But I mean, I laughed my ass off at least fucking 5 times during Strays.
Yes. Strays,
I actually got a couple laughs out of it. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I laughed let the little comment on your video about how Strays. I remember seeing the trailer like months ago and totally forgetting about the movie completely until you're like asking me about thumbnail images for that movie. I was like, oh wait, I remember this shit.
Even the opening Will Forte, he's like, shut the fuck up. Fucking beats his shit.
Al Pacino is apparently totally insane. Yeah. I told that story
only
about
huh?
What are you doing, Toxic? I told that story about Johnny Depp, Donnie Brasco, where he told Al Pacino, like, you're fucking crazy, right? And he's like, oh yeah, absolutely. And then there's like a long pause, and then Al Pacino's like, you know something? You're pretty fucking weird yourself. That's like such a great story, man, because Johnny Depp is weird. It's pot and kettle stories. I love them.
Definitely.
But yeah, back to On Golden Pond. Did you guys know it was the first time? This is like baffling. This is unbelievable. I cannot believe this. I still don't believe it. Basically, you've got the first time ever. This is the only time this has ever happened where you have a male and a female lead who play husband and wife, and they both get the Oscars for best female, best actor, best actress. Sure. That has never happened ever except that one movie On Golden Pond. I was like, what? Think of all the movies that there's like a husband and wife and they both do great performances.
Yeah.
And it's like not only do they both have to get nominated, I'm sure there's plenty of cases of that, but that's the only time where they both won. I'll be damned.
Wait, hold on. Like, I'm thinking of, okay, this probably doesn't count because it's husband and wife, but I remember like Jack Nicholson and Helen Hunt were a couple and As Good as It Gets, and they both won it. But again, like they're not husband. They weren't married. Yeah, that's
yeah.
But I mean, in any other movie, it probably would have turned out to be the case. Yeah. What office?
Toxic. Yeah. What are you doing, Toxic? I mean, you're
says Wes.
Bad.
He's burying a body again.
I think he's burying Jane Fonda as we speak.
It sounds like you're driving a bus this time.
Like when you're screaming or like a sickening thud.
Jesus, Wes, I didn't want to be right about that.
God damn it, I'm trying to send Queef the link again.
No, I'm waiting for Wes to get back because I do want to talk about some Blue Beetle because it's definitely
No, I'm here. Go ahead.
No, like you.
Oh, we know you're there.
it wasn't terrible. Like, I mean, off the bat, I said that, I know the name George Lopez. I'm not sure much about him, but like, if I wish he wasn't part of, he's like Aquafina. Like every time he's in a fucking, like, his presence in that movie just seriously knocked a lot of points off for me. Cause like, take him the fuck out of this movie, man. Like, he was insufferable.
But he's also like the most famous
Agreed.
out of all of them. So you could tell that it was probably obligatory from the studio.
So it's Tyler, because you said you watch Young Justice, and like people know the character of Jaime Reyes, and people were not watching Young Justice or reading comic books or watching movies. And this is what killed Supergirl is. We get it, George. We get it. Mexicans, immigrants. We get it. Mexicans, government. We get it. It's just all these constant, like at some point, I just wanted to say, like, I don't get political, but like, just, are you still scared about the Orange Man? Like, it's so fucking on the nose, guys. Like, all right. Like, I'm not watching. Blue Beetle has an alien scarab attached to his fucking spine. You're bitching about aliens and immigrants. Like, come on, dude.
Are you on your phone, Toxic, or are you on the computer?
On the phone, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Tyler. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, you'd think that they would get it through their fucking skulls that the only way to defeat the Orange Man is kind of the way you defeat Voldemort, by not fucking saying a fucking thing about him. I don't understand why in like the 8 years of this shit that we seriously haven't grasped onto that yet.
Yeah. That's why I say this. It's but take George Lopez out of the film. Yeah, it's like people said the kid, and I looked this up. I took this on my review. His name it's Xolo, and I'd actually YouTube. How the hell do you say his name? And it's actually SH, so it's Sholo, which I don't know where XO turns into Show, but his name is Sholo. So I'm like, okay.
Cholo's
I was gonna
like,
say, because the girl from Multiverse of Madness, that's not how you pronounce the X and O in her name. It's actually just SO pronunciation.
Cholo.
That's what I actually had to YouTube, like, how do you pronounce this kid's names? I don't want to say it wrong. I just like, that's why I was like, guys, Miguel from Cobra Kai. But no, he's very good as Jaime. He's a good actor from Cobra Kai, and my son said it, and I said it. He's the best part of the fucking movie. But Henry Cavill's best part of The Witcher doesn't make The Witcher a good show.
Well, I heard that the movie was just pretty predictable, from like a mile away type thing,
It is. It's like the main bad guy. He reminds me of Yellow Jacket from Ant-Man. It's like there's so much of Tony Stark in there, where like the one girl, she wants to, like, now her exact words were, we're no longer a weapons company, just like Tony Stark. It's and the Susan Sarandon, all her motivations. It's like people said, it feels like 5 different. It's like they had a fucking big whiteboard. Okay, Marvel and DC have done all this stuff, and we just circle these 5 things. It's like, it feels like it's like a Frankenstein script from everything we've already fucking seen. It's in terms of, like, somebody has to die, of course.
The Blue Beetle thing reminds me of the Guyver. I don't know if you guys watched those movies growing up.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill, anime.
Josh fucking loves MacGyver.
No, not MacGyver, the Guyver. But MacGyver's cool too. Guyver was the one, the bio boosted armor, and it's based on that manga anime.
Yeah.
And the remake of the anime was pretty dope, except for all the recaps that anime does. But
definitely.
I'm doing a job. Have to be on the phone. I'm here with you. Yeah, no worries. Blue Beetle was an Iron Man ripoff. Yeah.
Me and Drucker said that.
Iron Man plus the Guyver. Yeah.
Well, you're right, Enzo. And I've seen comments in Jeremy John's review saying the first Blue Beetle was not like this. This is the Jaime Blue Beetle, and there's a lot of fucking Guyver references in there. It feels like 20 different fucking ideas all slapped into one movie.
Queef, what's up, brother?
What's up?
So Queef was done working. He's finally free from his
finally free
Burning Man warehouse job.
Jesus Christ.
Is everyone still at Burning Man?
I actually don't know. I haven't called them because I'm scared they're going to call me back into work to help to do more shit. So
that's the way to be. That's the way to roll. I hear you.
I'm just saying I'm staying radio silent as a motherfucker right now. I'll tell you that. I am on vacation. There's nothing anyone can do about it. So
yeah, we're going to watch some movies tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
As far as we're talking about that stupid Blue Beetle DC movie right now.
Yeah, which I haven't seen, so like I have nothing.
Neither did I.
There, but...
Neither did I. I don't want to see it. Blue Collar and Toxic, who was just here, he had to leave, but yeah, they took one for the team and saw it for us. Tyler saw it too, right?
Was it dog shit?
Well, the most I've seen of the actual movie was they put the trailer in front of it during Evil Dead Rise, and I don't know if it was the speakers or whoever fucking edited that trailer, but I could barely hear a damn thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I was talking about how, like, yeah, I mean, it's not dog shit. The problem is it's okay. It's meh. But the problem is, like, yeah, we as consumers of entertainment, like, who get all the streaming stuff at home for free, you got to get us into the theater for something more than just meh. Every movie needs to be like a Barbie or Oppenheimer type event.
I feel like what's happened over the course of time, and y'all all would probably agree with this, is like with the rapid releases of how many freaking superhero movies that are all basically the same shit, like, you know, regurgitated plot lines, same fucking predictable shit. Like, that doesn't. How much is a fucking movie ticket now? How much is it?
$20.
Shut the fuck up! You're lying. It's not $20.
Yeah, I pay 13 tops.
I mean, depends on there's matinees Friday night. No,
I was gonna assume $12, $13. So did someone just say $20?
Well, if you went opening night in like XD fucking 3D, you know, type shit on a weekend, yeah, sure. I'm sure it could be closer to $20 a ticket.
I mean, I'm actually
$16.50, $17. I'm sure that's
that
normal.
movie better fucking slap for fucking $20.
Yeah. Also, and it's like, I don't know, man. These big reclining seats, they just make me sleepy. Movie ticket is $17 for military.
Then you gotta see it twice. Then you gotta see it twice. That's the trick.
So $17 is a discount. You know what I mean? So,
nah,
Jesus.
dude.
Yeah, but he says it's not a bad movie, but it wasn't, you know, anything groundbreaking. Black Panther for Mexican people. The problem is it was trying to be black people for Mexican people, but it wasn't.
Well, because all the comments coming out now from the fucking big news sources. Oh, this is the first Latino ever on screen. This is Latino representation.
No,
they were literally threatening, though. That was the problem. They were like, if this movie doesn't make $1 million fuckload of money, then yeah, we're not going to see any more Mexican-led, Latino-led movies anymore.
Well,
so if we don't all go see it, then it's your fault. Why there's no more.
Well, here's the worst part of it. They're objectively leaving out the Latino character Spider-Man from Across the Spider-Verse because, well, look at Jaime and look at Miles. I think you can tell the fucking difference there.
Well, it's also, like I said earlier, like it should take place in El Paso. The guy's a famous El Paso character. Growing up in El Paso, I know there's like a lot of people from El Paso that were like, WTF.
Yeah.
You know? Why are you making this guy from, was it LA or San Diego?
Here's my question. Like, what's wrong with a superhero movie that takes place in the desert? Like, you can get some really good scenery and some. I want a superhero brawl in the desert. In fact, like, if you were like a superhero, like, and there was like a super villain like terrorizing a city, like, lure the fucker out to Nevada somewhere. Like, get out of the fucking New England area. Like, there's too much collateral damage. Fight me out in you know, the Las Vegas desert somewhere. Like Goku.
I did have to say the good, but then we keep going back and forth with this, that yes, the first Iron Man, the first set of Marvel films, they had basic plots of family, but then now we're so busy like deconstructing strong male characters and family dynamic. I gave him points because, hey, look, there is a very good father-son scene where like, Dad, I love you, son, I'm proud of you. Like, hey, it's 2023 and Jaime has a great father. Holy shit, wow. And Jaime he actually has a nuclear family. None of his family members are gay or bi or fucking trans. And so that's
to the point now where it's weird when there isn't like a obnoxiously gay character in a movie. Where's the gay guy?
Yeah, it's like he had a normal family in 2023, a superhero film with a normal family. Holy fuck, imagine that. Like, so I mean, because according to Disney, all men suck, all fucking dads are deadbeats, all fathers are abusive, and no, his dad's a badass. Oh shit, wow, I didn't expect that. So.
When it comes to Disney and all their portrayals of things over the course of time, you know, there's a lot of stuff to unpack there.
Oh, I am fully prepared to unpack most of that shit. I mean, I put up a poll for stuff that because I want to get back into the swing of Disney stuff that I reviewed during the pandemic, and there's, you know, a ton of the possibilities there are endless. And ironically, one of the options I put up was a first episode of this one cartoon that is notorious for the fact that the main character goes both ways and predominantly has like this one girlfriend throughout the majority of the show. But it's not related to that. It's related to the fact that in the first episode, she sees herself as like an example of these misunderstood kids who are weird, and she is weird, but She literally causes a decent amount of danger and destruction at her school that they have to send her to this one, not juvie, but a summer camp of like organization or whatever. Like she literally, they actually montage and show her flaws. Like during Romeo and Juliet, where she's Juliet, as she stabs herself, she literally pulls sausage intestines out of her dress. For a book report, she brings live snakes for a reenactment, and needless to say, some students get bit, including her fucking principal.
Yeah.
But then when they get to this, I don't know, she goes to this other realm and she has to retrieve this object to be sent back. And the place is literally called the Conformatorium, where all these people, like one girl writes fan fiction, the other one's a conspiracy theorist, and you're just like, you're just weird. Like I am, and I'm just sitting there going, you are not the exact same thing. These guys are weird, but they're not like forcing their weirdness on other people.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, yeah. I mean, speaking of weird queef, like I was saying, so we watched a bunch of these William Friedkin movies, but the only one I didn't really see that I haven't seen, I'm kind of saving for tomorrow. I want to watch it with you, but it's called The Guardian. I don't know what the hell, but this is the plot. Are you ready? A young couple with a newborn baby don't realize that the nanny they hired is a magical nymph who sacrifices infants to an evil tree. That you heard correct, folks. I made sure to say that slowly and precisely so you could understand what the hell I just said tonight while the world is asleep and ancient evil's about to be awoken.
So they're sacrificing a baby to the poltergeist tree.
Right, but it's William Friedkin, and the thing about him is, like, we'll talk about this later, either today or whenever Luke comes in, whatever week. But you know, one thing that he excels in is this gritty realism, like with The Exorcist or Sorcerer or whatever movies, The French Connection. He's just got this like almost like documentary style. He always films on location. Everything's got this like gritty realism to it. His car chases are amazing. His car crashes are even better. They have this like brutal realism to them, and it's so great. And so when he does something like The Exorcist through this like very realist lens, that's what makes The Exorcist so scary, really, is like, you know, everything except for the girl possessed by the devil is very grounded in reality. But this movie, I don't understand how he's going to do that. I don't understand how he's going to approach this nymph movie. Tree God. I don't know. I'm excited to watch that.
I'm excited. That sounds pretty tight. Honestly, not gonna lie. There was another movie I wanted to bring to your attention. I'm sure you probably heard about it. I believe it's called The Thing with Two Heads.
Me and Megan already watched it.
Was it good? Was it ridiculous?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna try to make that one of the few we watches where I can release it without the overlay.
I just saw a whole thing on that. Like how
it was
ridiculous.
so. I was telling you about it. I told you about it actually, but the thing that was so funny was like, unfortunately, just like Time Rider and so many of these other 70s movies, it unfortunately just devolves into a big car chase. Everything devolves into like a Dukes of Hazzard style fucking motorcycle car chase. Everything in the 70s. It all culminates to a big 30-minute drive around in the desert.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, it was still a funny movie.
Bad, you know?
I would like to see a remake of The Thing with Two Heads because it's about an old, rich, racist billionaire who is suffering some kind of life-threatening ailment, and he's also paying doctors to surgically like experiment on gorillas, like to graft the head of one gorilla onto another gorilla successfully, like a head transplant. And it turns out that he's dying, and he actually wants the head transplant. Yeah, he wants the head transplant for himself, but unfortunately he dies suddenly. His body slips into a coma, and they have to act fast. So they go to death row, and they're like, who wants to volunteer? Like, you won't survive the procedure, but, we also won't execute you. And this, the only guy that qualifies that's willing. Yeah, the only guy that qualifies is this big black dude who's played by Pam Grier's one of her relatives. And it's like, this racist old man's head is attached to a black prison convict's body as they like escape the law. It was pretty rowdy.
See that shit. I have to see that shit.
We actually watched Barbarella.
Amazing.
We watched Barbarella a couple weeks ago, and that was the one that I edited this week. So that's coming out Wednesday. And because we watched Barbarella, that was like, wow, we should watch that other Jane Fonda movie on Golden Pond. which was so
I want to find
beautiful.
more. I want to find more weird. It's like totally insane Indian movies that are totally out of their minds.
I recommend On Golden Pond. That was a weird one. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, The Hunted, Killer Joe,
really
Rules of Engagement.
The way Indian people make movies.
Oh, you meant Bollywood, India. I see. Well, do you have 4 hours to 5 hours? Because that's how long those movies average.
Yeah, Bollywood, India style. Yeah, like their shit's wild, man.
What were you gonna say, Tyler?
I was gonna say if anybody here hasn't seen RRR, it definitely deserves all that hype.
Right? Yeah, watch RRR. That one's everyone's talking about that one. Queef.
Is that the one, the action one?
Yeah, it's like two brothers in India fighting tigers or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I gotta check that out. See, I'm about that shit. I love that type of shit.
That's funny because like looking for the stuff that I want to see at TIFF, there's actually an Indian martial arts movie where like one guy who's running off with a girl that the family doesn't like, and on this train in New Delhi, they have to fight like a gang of bandits that have hijacked it. And I'm just sitting there going, this is simple and silly and over the top, and this is what I need right now.
Yep. What I need.
Enzo, what was the name? Enzo, what was the name of that movie we watched with that little James Bond dude, the little kung fu guy?
Oh yeah, we watched oh god, what's it? Wang Wang. It's called
Wang Wang.
It's a parody of it was a parody of one of the James Bond titles. Bond. Wait, it's Wang Wang, and the movie was called
basically like a miniature. And he like he's like 3 feet tall or shit, and he like bangs like 3 fucking hot chicks in the movie, and it's totally out of control. We're like, what the hell's happening?
Yeah, awesome. The movie that we saw was called It's called For Your Height Only, For Your Heights Only, and it's got little Wang Wang.
It was pretty priceless.
This is a grown man, and he is like literally
it's a grown man.
20 inches tall.
The dude is a little freaking rock star kung fu. He's like doing roundhouse kicks and shit or whatever. I don't remember. He was doing some wild shit, and like the little dude is like he's proportional to like a regular person. He's not like a dwarf or anything. He's just like a tiny person.
Yeah,
like, that was
he looks kind of more like
one of the most meme worthy movies. Like the amount of memes you can pull out of that movie is ridiculous.
The problem is it wasn't really a movie as much as it was like a strange vanity project for a tiny little guy.
I mean, you gotta give him credit, man. You know that guy got laid after that.
Well, yeah, I'm waiting to watch Max Headroom, and then we could do that one, Wang Wang, and the third one, Rem Lazar.
We did Wang Wang. We did Wang Wang.
Right. I'm trying to edit all 3 of those in one video. Is what I'm saying.
Wow. And Peter Dinklage is jealous of some of the roles that he gets. Right. Wow.
Yeah. So Banshee, Wes Kelly is telling me about
Banshee. You're not going to see Peter Dinklage fucking doing a roundhouse kick. I'm just telling you that right now.
Yeah, they all have bad hips. Every tiny person.
Didn't he do that though in that one Melissa McCarthy movie he did?
Probably. I know he did. So he beat up Will Ferrell in Elf. He had no problem playing a character that got made fun of for his height. He's no Wang Wang, bro.
He's no Wang Wang.
No, Peter Dinklage. I knew Wang Wang, and you, sir, are no Wang Wang.
Dinklage's excuse was that he wasn't playing an elf, which I guess was his limitation. And look, the whole thing between Peter Dinklage and that one guy.
He has no problem. He has no problem playing a human that gets made fun of for his height, but he doesn't want to play any mythical creatures that happen to be height, impaired.
You don't want to get typecast like Leprechaun. You don't want to get typecast like fucking Warwick Davis.
I think the thing is, like, I think you learn something from Willow. Is like we watched Willow and a few of these other, dwarf movies, and you realize, like, these poor dwarfs, they have to they all have like hip dysplasia, and they have to like walk through all these like wooded areas, for multiple takes, multiple scenes, and it's like, dude, their bodies are not really. Some of them are not made for like off road.
Yeah. But hey, you gotta give Warwick Davis all the credit for being a beast. Like, he's a fucking badass.
Well, yeah, he's the star of the movie. What he's gonna do? Quit? It's like his only opportunity.
No, I'm just saying he's just a fucking badass. Like, I have so much respect for that fucking guy. I love that dude.
But Chris, Wes was talking about the show Banshee. You guys are gonna start talking about since you're done talking about Justified.
Well, we have 2 more episodes of Justified, but Banshee, the entire series is on HBO Max. So
Oh, okay. So you guys are gonna. Oh, is it an HBO show or what? Where's it from? What channel is it from?
It was definitely on Cinemax, but they just
okay.
Remember they merged Max and HBO, so now it's
so they got titties and stuff in it. If that's the case, I'll watch it.
I can tell you, I watched season 1. It's one of the shows where it's so good. I wanted to watch one episode a week because, like, no joke, in every episode was swearing, titties, gunfights, explosions. It's a perfect
Banshee. It's called Banshee.
It's fucking awesome. And this is Homelander before he was.
Was it on HBO or what?
HBO Max. Yeah.
What is this on? Hey, I'm gonna totally derail this conversation real fast. I trust all y'all to give me y'all's opinions on two things. I just really want to ask y'all two things. So one, I'm having this person trying to pressure me into watching Game of Thrones. And,
I mean, it's awesome up to season 5. It's amazing.
Yes.
Up to season 5, it's like some of the best television ever. And then it starts getting not so good, but it's cool because there's more monsters and stuff to kind of distract you. But then it just kind of shits the bed the last season.
That's what I heard. Okay, there's that. And then the other question I wanted to ask y'all, which I hope to God, have y'all seen Barry?
Yeah.
Parts of it.
First 2 seasons.
Like, I just wanted to take, like, I've only seen the first season. It was goddamn amazing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what comes next, but don't tell me any spoilers. I just want to say, like, how does it go after that?
I think Wes, the problem is every season ends on a massive cliffhanger, which is why I'm waiting. And yeah, Wes is definitely, he's saying right now, yeah, he said Barry is amazing. He did say when the last season was on, he was getting worried, but I guess it eventually redeemed itself because, yeah, he says it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, Barry's good, dude. And Barry's a great television. Barry,
I loved the whole first season. Was absolutely gold.
Bill
absolutely
Hader
priceless.
and what's his name? Henry Winkler.
Fantastic. Yeah. Anyways, sorry to derail that. I just wanted y'all's opinions on that.
No, yeah, watch him. Watch him.
All right. Well, final question. Breaking Bad, and because these are all series that I need to catch up on, and The Wire. What do y'all think about that shit?
I think The Wire is better than Breaking Bad, and that might be a less popular opinion, but it is the correct opinion.
No, everybody agrees The Wire is better.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. All right,
but
that's all.
They're both
that's
good.
it. Okay. I'm trying to prioritize my fucking time. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, that's the problem with these shows. Like, I mean, yeah, Wes recommends
It's
these
fucking
shows,
life
and I have
consuming.
to
If you start fucking diving in, dude, it's life consuming.
We were talking about Nicolas Cage, and I saw that Sympathy for the Devil movie with him recently, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's a 90-minute movie. Like, I'll sit down and watch it. No problem. But then, like, people saying, like, oh, I don't want to watch a movie. Let's just watch a show. And then we'll watch, like, 6 episodes of some fucking show. It's like, how is that? It's worse. But Sympathy for the Devil,
the difference is you have the option. You have the option to, like, stop watching. With a movie, you can't, like, stop, like, 3/4 of the way through it. You kind of have to commit to the whole thing. So it's like,
no, right. But at the same time,
if it's a show, I get it. But if it's an hour long per episode, if it's an hour per episode or something, then in that case, then it's like,
every show just ends on a massive. Every episode is just like a hook line, not a hooker, but a hook line to like keep people. Yeah. Every movie, every episode just ends on some kind of stinger that's got to get people like, oh, some cliffhanger to get them excited about the next week's episode. You got to get people to want to binge. So, like, the only interesting shit that happens in the movies or the episodes is like at the very beginning, in the middle, and at the very end. And they intentionally structure the episodes to work that way.
I mean, like, once you understand the formula of it, then like you can structure anything you want after that, and it works because it's a formula that works. Like, it's like understanding musical formulas and how pop music is made. It's like once you understand like the actual formula of it, it's very formulaic. What made you fucking good at bop? What made you?
So I just heard. The reason why I heard that is because I just heard today. I found out today that the actual name for leprosy is Hansen's disease.
So
yeah,
why?
Bop indeed. I don't know. Some guy named Hansen got it, I guess, first,
Wow. Oh, shit.
Poor bastard. It's like, hey, my dick's green and falling off. Bop.
That happens? Wait. That happens?
Leprosy. No, yeah, you start rotting.
Does your
like
penis fall off? Oh, shit.
I'm sure your penis can fall off. People's noses and ears fall off and shit.
Oh, goddamn. Jesus. Well,
Banshee equals titties, fight scenes, cool dialogue, badass character, gunfire. Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what Chris was saying.
Yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of, I finished this week Twisted Metal. I heard mixed things. Even Nerdrotic said I fucking loved it. I can't believe it's
I was
so
kind of turned off that it's a show, though.
Okay. Quick question: was it true to the game?
Parts
of
it.
the game's just a racing game, so
I mean,
no, I mean to the lore, to the storyline of like what the game is. You know, like does it like kind of like
the games have been redone a couple of times, but for the most part, yes. Like I actually had to Google which characters have cameos. So officially, there's 20 characters from the games that all make cameos. But by far, everyone knows when you think Twisted Metal, what do you think? Sweet Tooth, and that fucker is perfect. Perfect. Sweet Tooth. Every scene, he's not in every because it's all about John Doe. But every second Sweet Tooth is on screen, it's fucking perfection. Like,
is this on HBO too?
Peacock.
Yeah, Peacock. That's
yeah.
I mean, it's everything I watch is on F movies. You know, you know, some or one of these other.
Hey Enzo, would you do me a solid and send me that link to whatever the F movie shit or whatever? I want to watch that shit immediately.
They were smart.
Literally tonight. I need to start watching Twisted Metal tonight. I'm gonna watch it.
They were smart enough where they had sorry Enzo, the guy the wrestler Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe plays basically Sweet Tooth's body, and they have Will Arnett voice it. So it sounds stupid on paper, then when you see it,
that's better, honestly.
It's fucking perfect. I'm telling you. So
it's like what they did with Colossus and Deadpool. You got like
who
3
does the
different
voice?
actors.
Who does the voice?
Will Arnett, Lego Batman,
okay.
the guy from Arrested Development. I made a huge mistake.
Yeah, I know. I know who you're talking about. Interesting.
You know what? There was another video game movie. What was it? Gran Turismo, and I had no interest in watching Gran Turismo, but they're saying it's good and it's Neil Blomkamp. I was like, what?
Yeah. Even Drinker recommended it.
I have zero fucking interest in watching that shit.
I didn't have any interest in watching Gran Turismo, but I like District 9 and Chappie and Elysium and all those weird ass movies.
Did they ever make a Tekken movie? Did they ever do Tekken?
I think they did, didn't they? In the shitty early 2000s.
Yeah, it was probably dog shit. Yeah, it's probably pretty.
Maybe I'm sure they did an anime movie.
If they did do a movie like that, we need to watch it. If they did make it, we have to see that one.
Yeah, 2009, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it sucked ass.
Dude, we should watch this sucky movie.
We should totally watch that. We need to watch Tekken, please. Whatever that is, we need to watch that. By the way, the new Mortal Kombat shit. Someone told me like the new Mortal Kombat
1.
Yeah.
But the movie.
Mortal Kombat 1. Yeah.
Shit, I don't know.
Tekken.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 1. Some weird
good?
prequel.
Y'all seen it?
The game or Tekken?
Y'all like it? Was it good?
Are you talking about Tekken or Mortal Kombat?
The fucking movie about the new Mortal Kombat shit. I'm talking about the new Mortal Kombat thing.
I've only seen the trailers, but yeah, I mean, it looks okay. There's just my problem with it
Have
that
any
I'm
of y'all
noticing.
seen it? Any of y'all?
Well, the issue is because they're doing it's like a prequel, but now it's like fucking Liu Kang's the bad guy. So
I don't mind that because like Liu Kang basically became
That's
the fire god.
bullshit.
Yeah, Liu Kang became fire
Liu
god,
Kang the bad
and
guy?
Raiden is now immortal. He's a human, but he still has lightning powers. And
Raiden is
they
now
basically
mortal.
Yeah, they did like a trade-off. It's weird. And then but the problem I have with it, here's my big problem with it, is I'm noticing they're doing all these like intros, these like character trailers for like characters like Melina and Baraka and Reptile. And the common thread is all these characters used to be like, okay, they were decent, and then they became evil. Like Baraka, it turns out that Baraka and all the Tarkatans, they have some kind of disease that made them like that. And I don't like that. That's stupid. And then like Reptile, he was banished. Reptile was banished because he can take human form. So like basically his reptile friends were like segregated against him. He's basically like being outcast for that. And then Melina, same thing. She was a normal like guardian of the king or whatever, and she becomes corrupted. Again, it's like Cruella de Vil, where we have to like make all these evil villains. Like, why can't they just be evil? They're fucking Tarkatans. They're monsters with blades that come out of their knives, blades that come out of their arms. Like, why do they have to be, like a poor these like leprosy type characters? Like, they're afflicted with this disease that turns them into monsters. They're actually sympathetic characters. No, they're demons from Outworld.
Like the TikTok date said, it showed every entrance. It says Mortal Kombat 1's entrances are too clean. Like it's almost like it's too polished. Where it's like before it was gritty and disgusting looking certain characters. Now all the characters look like all shiny and polished up. Like Reptile should be gross looking.
Well, I am liking this, like this because there's already been this is like the 12th, the 11th Mortal Kombat game. 12, so it's like this idea that all the production stills and stuff, it's like white backgrounds with like blue skies and green trees. Like all the backdrops seem very like, peace on earth type vibes,
Yeah.
And it's very it's just interesting change of atmosphere, because I remember Mortal Kombat 1 versus Mortal Kombat 2, like how wild like the level design was, compared to the first one. Like, oh dude, you're really thinking outside the box. But I don't know if I want to do Mortal Kombat like in a beach house, next to LA, some LA Beverly Hills mansion, or I don't want to do Mortal Kombat on some beautiful lake vista,
No, it's like grimy. Like Mortal Kombat environments are pretty fucking.
Dude, hell,
nuts.
like the Netherworld, like it was like lava and like skulls like piled on meat and blood and flesh. Like the walls looked like they're made out of skin. It's awesome.
Yeah. Plus the problem too is they're making these sequels way too fast. Like fuck, Street Fighter 6 came out,
That's huge.
Because before it would be like a fighting game would come out. It'd take like 5-6 years for a sequel. Now it's like every fucking 2 years. Like you're making them way too quick, guys.
The other thing is, because like nobody can do what Grand Theft Auto did and just like keep milking the same product for decades. And what happened is, now because we allowed it, I didn't allow it. You need to mute yourself when you cough, buddy. But when they everyone buys these pre-order games, they pre-order these games, and that's become the norm. And I've said this before. So now like they just kind of like release like a half-ass game for launch, and everyone starts playing it for pre-game. Pre-order stuff, and then the bugs get fixed like after the release, like a year or two later sometimes,
No, it's that, dude. That's been like the staple for the past 5 years. Like, we all know it. Take Cyberpunk. It's a great game. A year after it came out.
Yeah. Well, it's like you got to wait. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say the similar thing is gonna happen with like movie CGI. Is like a lot of these visual effects artists are being cranked so hard that like and having to do so many back-to-back projects that it's the quality is suffering in the movies because they got to make deadlines, and it's like isn't that why they're on strike right now?
Yeah, well, I heard they had to make the VFX artists are not even unionized yet. You understand?
They're talking
about unionizing. If there's here's the thing. If there's one group of Hollywood people that need to unionize, it is the VFX people. Yeah. Actors, the idea of an actor union, it's like, no, because here's the thing, like actors going on strike, like we need more money. It's like, dude, we'll go to Idaho and find any number of people who have talent to act. Acting is not hard. For every fucking, 1 out of every 10 persons can act, pretend, it's not hard. And there's so many people living in rural America that would love to fucking be in Hollywood in movies. And it's like, dude, you're telling me Rachel Ziegler, she's throwing a pissy fit every day. It's like, all right, well, we'll have someone that actually is thankful for being Snow White.
It's because people go to movies oftentimes because of who's in the movies. And so like, it's like
not anymore, man. Tom Cruise is the only dude with Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves. Those are like the only motherfuckers with pool in their name.
Yeah.
Like seeing a movie specifically because Chris Pratt is in it. No one does that. No one gives a shit.
That's
who
true.
Plays these characters.
I mean, let's not forget that people like Jennifer Lawrence and Rachel Ziegler were the people from Idaho, theoretically, who got their big shot. And as you could tell from their interviews recently, they both kind of let that stardom get to their heads.
Yeah.
Well, I did, like I said, we didn't really talk about it too much last week, but No Hard Feelings was great. I didn't like I really didn't like, I was very underwhelmed with the part where he's like finally gets the guts to play something on the piano at the restaurant. And I was expecting him to play, Manhunter, but do it like all piano, do the fucking lick and the rhythm, like all on the keys, get crazy with it. But instead he just does like slow chords, and he's like, I wouldn't if I were you. I've seen what she can do. Real slow and sad, she's deadly, man. Also, like, I'm gonna sing a song for my girlfriend. Don't pick that one. I mean, yeah, that's kind of a joke. That's part of the joke, but I mean, come on, dude. She will really tear your ass apart. Mind over matter.
What's gonna happen? I think what I think is gonna happen in general is like because of AI. I think that like celebrities are gonna just start to like license and sell their likeliness for this film for X amount. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to act or anything. And then they're gonna have another person like actually play or act as them, or just have CGI, AI do it. And then they like probably got paid X amount, but they didn't have to do goddamn thing. I think
Right,
that's
but
where
that's
it's
the thing
going.
is like for every actor that's willing to do that, there's 100 actors that are like, do not do that. Do not sign away.
Oh
your
no, for
likeness.
sure. No, for sure. Because like it's gonna crumble the entire industry.
One of the
like,
reasons why they're striking is the actors, like extras and shit, are noticing in their clauses, like, hey, you're going to be on set and we can use your likeness in any and all future movies if we want.
Right, so they
we
can be extras in all movies, and they don't
They
have to
could be an
ever paid
extra.
to be extra
They
again.
get paid to be extra in one scene. And the thing is, though, it's like
for $130, and then they're fucking an extra forever, and they never get another extra higher back because they're.
But what's so funny?
What's really
funny? Yeah, but what's really funny is like you've got the actors and the writers, and they're like, no AI, no AI. We don't want to be replaced by AI because we're threatened because basically AI can probably do our job better than us. But then you got the VFX artists. Once they start striking, they're going to be like, we have to be able to use AI. You have to let us use AI. It's the only way we can do this shit. It's the only way we can make this easily.
Deadline.
Yeah.
The deadline. Yeah.
You've got to
watching.
basically.
I'm sure you watch Corridor Crew. Those guys, like the fact that like how much faster they can do their shit using AI.
Oh, you're talking about those guys who replicate the visual effects from movies?
Well, they do a bunch of shit. Corridor Crew. I'm sure you've.
I know you're talking about.
Guys.
I know you're talking
it's like they were like talking about like how helpful AI is, like how fast you can get a project done, knock it out, nail it. But instead of spending like 4 days trying to do this, you can literally like have that knocked out in like 20 minutes.
Well,
and then do a hard render afterwards. Like it's just.
Yeah, I make all of Chris's thumbnails, and like most of the time, I just take the poster, cut his image out, slap that out. But then for his little lazy reviews, it's just like, just sleeping vampire, please. A sleepy blue beetle character, a sleeping dog. I can't remember what type of dog that was, but I remember just figuring out what breed that was and just being like, one of those little terriers. But what about and as far as the AI stuff, like pretty soon, like when the AI can start slapping text on images, like Chris can start making that shit himself easily.
Yeah,
knock it out. Make me a fun, engaging YouTube thumbnail with my picture and the text sucks balls.
ChatGPT-4 has got that shit on lock, I'm sure.
ChatGPT, you can take a picture of your fridge and send it to ChatGPT-4, and it'll tell you what you can make with your ingredients that it sees.
Yeah.
It'll be like, well, I see you've got some horseradish and some beef. Take that beef and rub it in horseradish and cover it with salt and pepper and put it in the oven. There you go.
Blam. Honestly, I love it. So, like, it is terrifying, but I do love it. So.
What are you using your ChatGPT-4 for?
I use it for like invoices. I use it for if I want to like, if like there's somebody that like my friend of mine, he's got like a kid that like needs a bedtime story or something. Like I'll like throw in a few details of things and I'll like have it write like a badass like story for the kid. I'll send it to my friend and be like, read them this for their bedtime story, and he'll just fucking like come up with like the coolest little shit. I
use it all the time for tech support.
Off the spot.
I use it all the time for tech support. Like, easiest, cheapest way, fastest way to clean up my internet junk files. Be like, do it like that. Like, thanks.
Yeah, no, I use it all the time. I ask it all kinds of shit. Like, how do I find out how to do this? Or can you tell me how to do this? And it's like, if it can't tell me how to do it, it'll tell me where I can fucking find out how to do it.
When I first started getting like the copyright strikes and disputing them, like, I started asking YouTube or ChatGPT, like, if I put the video in private, can I still dispute the claim while the video's in private? And it's like, yes. And then it's like, well, can I then, after the dispute is dropped, release the video to a schedule and then premiere it after it's been set to private? It's like, you ask that shit on Google. It's like, dude, it's so hard to get these fucking yes or no answers out of Google or YouTube support.
Chris,
I want
AI thing that can instantly.
I want to talk with Chris. Chris had this debacle with his YouTube music. This is fucking something I want to talk about. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, I've been using the intro for the past year, and now apparently the people that where the song comes from hit me with a copyright claim, and I showed Enzo, looked it up. It says this song is copyright free, it's royalty free, you're allowed to use it, and then YouTube sends me a thing saying, "Oh, the owners of this song talk about your video is intros copyrighted." I'm like,
yeah, and you try to dispute it, and they're like, "Sorry, they've reviewed your claim, and they want to reject it." And you're like, "What?" And I looked into it further, and it's like, okay, these motherfuckers, like, this is something I didn't even know was a thing. But if you look up the words like copyright-free music, royalty-free music, I fucking think like 90% of them are doing this like bait and switch scam where it's like, check it out. Here's our royalty-free music, and it's free. And you put it on whatever videos you want. And then you put it on YouTube. But the second your videos get monetized, all of a sudden there's a claim. And it's automatic. Yeah, you can't dispute it. The only way to dispute it, you have to go to their website and register your YouTube channel under their website and then link the video that's got a claim, and then they'll just drop the claim, but you have to credit them in like all future videos. It's like a little bait and switch. You told me it was royalty free, and now all of a sudden you're telling me I have to do all this bullshit? Fuck you.
Yeah.
So we just told them to get new music. I was like, just
like you said.
Get your own damn music.
Get some YouTube free copyright music.
And like you're saying, the thing is, it was never a problem before because I wasn't monetized. Now that I am, and the funny part, it's my clips, my intros are 6 fucking seconds out of 6 seconds out of a 3-minute song, and that's what you're copyrighting.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me ask this. I thought that if you use under 30 seconds of something, isn't that? I thought that was the law.
That's what I'm saying. These motherfuckers are literally just like copyright poaching because they can.
Yeah,
and they're like,
how can you get copyright claimed if it's like less than 6 seconds?
It's one of those things where it's up to the owner's discretion. It's up to the owner's discretion. If you can say, hey, this is fair. I do it all the time. Hey, this is fair use because of this. And technically it is. But and a lot of times, like Universal Pictures, they'll be like, yeah, you know what? It's fine. Megan, it's fine. Don't even worry about it. But then the same company will see like Hard Target or something and be like, you know what? No, we're not going to allow it this time. And it's like, there's literally, what's the difference here? Okay, whatever.
Yeah. And the funny part too is
Enzo, it's up to them.
Hey, Enzo, I got a different.
You're cutting out.
Minute, I'll be back.
Okay.
Toro is hitting me up and she needs to talk. I haven't talked to her in years, and so
go for it, man.
Fucking holler.
But I'll definitely see you tomorrow. I'm gonna be in this room on the playing video games and editing videos and just ready for you whenever we'll watch some shit. All right.
Yeah.
I assume you're leaving.
That was the funny part. All the videos, because I've used this intro like before because it wasn't monetized, but it was on the fuck Demeter. Like I get like 50 views on Last Voyage of the Demeter and 50 fucking views, and I get hit with a copyright thing. And
no, of course, like I said, and it only really started once you got officially monetized.
Yes,
right?
It was actually
there's some kind of trigger. There's some kind of trigger.
Actually,
those
I think
using.
I think Demeter is my first video that after I was monetized. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And like you said, they could easily retroactively start claiming your other shit.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, you stop using our song? Well, let's just claim these other studios and just let them have them. Don't even dispute it. Just be like, fuck y'all. All right."
Yeah.
Because luckily, the thing about your videos is like a lot of them are just like, I don't think people are going to be watching your Last Voyage of the Demeter review 5 years from now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, if someone,
like you said, I just went to fuck YouTube. They're official. I talked to customer support. Their official YouTube studio, and this is free. Right from YouTube. Hey, this new music is all on us. It's all fucking free.
Yeah. Well, in the future, you can just get on ChatGPT and get like way faster community, support. Be like, hey, ChatGPT, give me royalty-free music I can put on my YouTube set without any kind of credits.
If like he was mentioned with the 30 seconds, the new song I've been using for my 2 last lazy reviews, it does say that like you are allowed to use up to 30 seconds. And if you go past 30 seconds, all they want is they just want a credit on your description. But they're even saying right there,
but they don't say, oh, put the credit in your description. They actually want you to sign up in their website, and they're gonna like auto stamp your videos with like, oh, okay, as long as you just give me the link to your video, we'll drop the claim immediately. And then you got to put the video claim, the credit in the description as well.
But also, the current one I'm using from YouTube Studios, the YouTube Studios one says that like it's 30 seconds free. Anything after that, it's still free. They just want to
credit. Just
put down credits. But it's nothing like that. So
sure,
that's why I said so. Any music I use now is coming right from YouTube's actual website. So and I'm saying, guys, this is your website. You can't shit on me for your website. So
yeah, well, it's also one of those things where I remember you were kind of pushing back, like trying to figure out a way to keep the music, and I was like, just let it go, dude. Just let it go.
Yeah,
and plus, it's one of those things where I would not be surprised if I have different intro music in a year or two, just because, like, I mean, maybe that's something I'll do is like every year, new music. because that
And
way,
even-
separate them,
And well, also the cool part too about at least the YouTube thing is the one I picked was free. There's different levels and genres and options. You can actually buy a song too, so you can spend 99 cents and buy a
sure.
song. And once you buy it, it's for you can use it forever because you actually bought it for 99 cents. And
but you also
fuck it,
don't want
you know?
like a Red Letter Media Food Wishes thing. We have like a lot of YouTube channels using the same copyright free music, that piano,
Yeah.
like
Oh, definitely. That's why I said I'm gonna make every intro. I'm gonna have different songs per intro. So this is just my laser review, but every different intro I design, I'm not gonna be using the same fucking song.
Yeah. Well, you watch anything else good, Tyler, this week or last week, last 2 weeks? Shit. Yeah.
Last week I showed that picture of that one Moon Garden movie that
what was that?
I can't remember who I heard it from. Somebody on Letterboxd or something like that. But my best way of describing it's the two movies I can really compare it to are Pan's Labyrinth and Skinamarink. I mean, the Pan's Labyrinth stuff is a little bit more obvious because there are dream worlds, there are different creatures, an insane amount of style for a movie that I don't think was even made for $1 million, but like they stretch out the visual scope as much as they can. There's an animated sequence in a similar vein to the one from Bo, and I was not prepared for it, and it was just seeing the scope of it was just unreal. The visuals were insane. And Skinamarink in that, like, it's a little kid in a broken home, a little kid who you did not think could be that good of an actress, but the little girl they got was super well done. You can tell that they made some tricks to get some more natural aspects of her, but they make it work. And it
sounds awesome. Listen to this. A comatose 5-year-old journeys through an industrial wonderland to find her way back to consciousness. What's up, Ethan? How does that sound? Moon Garden. What's up, Ethan? How you doing? Is Jackie making dinner again?
Yeah, well, we just made dinner.
Oh, what'd you eat?
So it's a chimichurri, marinated flank steak with some mixed veggies.
Yum.
Yeah,
I made this really good agua chili sauce that I started like marinating everything in. It's so good.
Oh, yeah. Sounds great.
Just like blend up onions and cilantro and jalapeno juice.
Right on. It's good stuff.
So Moon Garden, definitely a recommend then, huh?
Absolutely. In between editing Russ's next video essay, I gotta get started on filming and editing whatever I come up with this one, because my God, I've got so many ideas of how many like scenes from this movie I can replicate now that I finally know how to fucking do that.
Rad. I also like this poster. It's got a very Drew Struzan type look to it.
Yeah, and red and blue, the movie is almost entirely just drenched in neon red and blue. Like the only time things look normal, there's a lot of different contexts to it, and I'm gonna have so much fun playing through the filters because like red, blue, and green, you can see a tad bit of green like underneath the girl. That's a really awkward spot to put it, but each symbol has a meaning, and the only problem there were a couple problems I had. I didn't think the villain was as scary as it could have been. It had a neat look, but they showed him too much, and they do the Evil Dead thing where they do the tracking shot like leading up to his appearance, and I'm just sitting there going, oh, I haven't fucking seen that before. And the parents, the broken home stuff is about as subtle as a Hallmark movie, and this is going to sound like a weird thing to complain about, but her parents look like Nicole Kidman and Jim Caviezel. No, mom especially looks like Nicole Kidman in such a distracting fashion. It's just insane.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. Cause I'm looking at the posters. I don't want to, play any trailers or anything, but yeah, that's cool.
Don't I rented it like the day I saw it.
Going blind. All right.
Oh yeah, well, because I seen like one or two people on this one site mention how much they were surprised by it, and I just sat there thinking, well, I got nothing else to check out, and Sanctuary wasn't available to rent yet, so.
Well, cool. You watch anything good this week, Matt?
We took a venture out to Crestone, Colorado, which is a really small mountain town,
So
and
you guys,
saw some UFOs, dude.
Was it
So
was it meteor showers or was it UFOs?
Dude, I mean, you hear the quintessential lights in the sky kind of deal, but these things were zipping around beyond
It's Chinese, bro. It's
probably
Chinese.
8, maybe.
Chinese is just nothing to worry about, folks. It's just a Chinese weather balloon.
It seemed very unconventional, and they were changing colors a lot, and it wasn't drones.
Yeah. That's like some close encounters of the third kind shit.
Yeah, it was some shit I've never seen. I've always wanted to see, so it was pretty mind blowing. But
Close
no, I haven't seen
Encounters,
the last movie I saw. See what I've been watching. I don't know. Come back to me.
Well, I gotta recommend this. I've been recommending it all day. On Golden Pond.
Okay.
It was the first time a father and daughter were nominated for actor awards, playing father and daughter in the same movie. Henry Fonda and Jane Fonda. A wonderful movie about an old couple who go to his cabin on the lake every summer, and it's their 43rd summer out there in this cabin, and their daughter is a grown woman, comes to visit with her boyfriend and his son, and they're going to go to Europe for a month, and they ask the old curmudgeon couple, well, it's actually the old man is a curmudgeon and the old woman is very lively and fun. But yeah, they ask her to like babysit this, like, you know, this dude's son for a month. And yeah, what a great little movie. Definitely like cozy, home, feel good type of family film. Oh, all ages. Definitely watch it with the missus. It was fun.
I love it. Yeah, right on.
Because every once in a while, you got to watch one of these gay movies with the lady. A movie that doesn't involve, you know, hookers getting their head cut off. A movie that isn't about, you know, men turning into giant werewolves and shit, you know.
Or
a movie about
vampire motorcycles.
A movie, not about a man who puts a bomb on a bus full of innocent bystanders. Sometimes you just got to have a movie about an old couple who got a cabin and they're going on summer break.
I love it.
It's cute.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, there's Cruising, where Al Pacino goes into nightclubs, homosexual S&M clubs in the 80s in New York and watches men get fisted. That was insane.
I've heard about that one. Another one that I had not heard of until recently, the Al Pacino film, was one where something in Point Park, where he's like a heroin addict.
Oh, no. I don't know. Let's see.
It's supposed to be really good. I haven't checked it out yet, but that's.
I guess it's an older one.
Yeah.
Heroin. Al Pacino heroin.
Yeah.
Al Pacino's crazy. Panic in Needle Park. It's called The Panic in Needle Park. Bobby, played by Al Pacino, is a heroin addict who lives in Needle Park, the nickname for an area of the Upper West Side of Manhattan where junkies congregate. Jesus.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sounds interesting, right?
Heroin addicts who frequent Needle Park in New York City. That sounds quite a slice of life. Yeah. Yeah, follow that. Watch. Next time you watch one of those movies, follow it up. Your chaser could be On Golden Pond.
Yeah, I've never heard of On Golden Pond before.
I was looking up just good cabin in the woods movies that weren't like horror films. You know, like cabin in the wood movies to fall asleep to, like Miyazaki live action movies. Are there any movies that have that Miyazaki vibe, but they're live action? Fucking On Golden Pond does. It was great.
You say fun. That, and I'm trying to think of like something fantastical on live action, but that's not.
Well, there is a giant fish they have to catch named Walter, and that is kind of like the fantastical element of the film, I would say. And if you were to make like a Miyazaki version of On Golden Pond, maybe I'll do that for Mid-Journey. Make Miyazaki version On Golden Pond mashup. But yeah, like trying to catch this giant fish that lives in the lake. And there's like a little adventure scene where because Walter what's his name? God, I can't remember his name. No, Henry Fonda. I can't remember his character name, but he's kind of going senile. That's kind of like you kind of establish that at the beginning of a movie. Sadly, it's like it's like nobody dies in the movie. It's not one of those movies, but it is like it never says it out loud, but you watch that movie and you're like, this was their last time they went to this pond. This is their last. They went to that summer. They summered there like 43 summers, That's crazy. Like a married couple like that with their kids, what a sweet movie.
It's a lot of summers.
But anyway, also I watched this movie called Stripped to Kill, and it was like Cruising, but it was about a stripper who goes undercover in the strip club. No, she's a policewoman. She goes undercover into strip clubs to be a stripper to find a serial killer who's preying on strippers. And that was fun. Terrible movie. Serial Mom. Watch that one.
In it?
No, it was straight to video schlock, man. It was like one of those USA Up All Night movies with Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
It was bad. But we did watch Serial Mom, and I got to say that's like the best John Waters movie. Most accessible, most mainstream, funnest movie, funniest. Kathleen Turner calling Dottie Hinkle. Listen to your filthy mouth, you fucking whore. Anyway, Jessica Rabbit, ladies and gentlemen. Anything else you guys watched this weekend? This week? Last week?
Not that I could think of, and not to cut things short, but I think I'm gonna call this one a night.
No worries, man. You said you'd be in here briefly.
All right, Tyler.
Yeah, man. Good night, dude.
Pleasure.
See you around.
Yeah, pleasure as always with you guys.
All right, buddy. Yeah, check out Tyler's Frozen video.
It's funny as hell.
Frozen review.
I'm checking out your stuff.
Yeah, Russ.
I'll put it in the Dorkside Facebook group.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, Russ drew a fucking handful of shots for a video. He was like, one of y'all's making a special appearance in this video. And for half a second, I'm like, is he talking about me? I don't know. He could easily be taking some fucking sample from one of these many, many hours of footage I have of myself prattling on.
Well, I did rewatch with my kid because he didn't see the first one. I felt bad, but because next week is Equalizer 3, and we went back and watched the first one, and god damn, what a fucking good movie.
This time he's in Italy. Yeah. He's killing Italians this time. Hell yeah.
I'm sure you guys probably remember a couple years ago, because remember the same year Equalizer came out, John Wick came out, and how many freaking posts was like, who'd win, John Wick or the Equalizer? And you're like, oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, John Wick, because he's got the age thing covered. The whole point about Equalizer is he's an old man. It was a Charles Bronson movie, right? Wasn't it a remake of a Charles Bronson movie?
It was a TV show.
Yeah, okay, there you go. But the point is, like, you got Anton Fuqua from Training Day, recollabing. And I like how Anton Fuqua, didn't he do all three movies?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Which is weird because the second one's not that good, but the third one looks good.
Well, maybe he didn't do the second one.
I'll look it up.
I was listening to the Red Letter Media video about RoboCop 2 today on the drive up here. It's so funny. The Robo flops when they try all the fake RoboCops that don't work out. But Equalizer, man, I love the first one. The first one was good. The remake, Denzel. But the problem is, it's like
the sequel was trash.
That's what. Yeah, I don't remember it being trash. I don't remember seeing it really. Did I see it?
Very forgettable. But the first one was sick.
Yeah, it's like I didn't hate part 2 because part 2 was like they made it way too action packed and the storyline wasn't as good. The fight scenes weren't as good. It's like it was. Yeah, I think it was decent, but it's nowhere near as good as the first one.
You know what? I think I was thinking of the Bruce Willis Death Wish remake when I was saying Charles Bronson. Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, hell yeah. Death Wish.
Wasn't that Eli Roth? Oh, yeah. They were so ridiculous because, like, in the first one, it's like they kill his wife. And then the second one, they kill his daughter. And it's like, or rape his daughter. Right. And then the third one, they kill his like brother. And then by the fifth one, they're like, they killed his fucking neighbor. Like everyone he knows is dead already. He doesn't have any more friends to kill, to avenge. But yeah, by the second or third one, the second one was funny because like it was very lambasted as being highly violent. Even though, it's one of those movies, it's like it glorifies violence. It's like, no, if you watch it, it's actually very anti-violence, but it just tells it in a very violent way. What are you going to do?
You're right. Antoine Fuqua does direct all three Equalizer films.
Cool. Well, I love Tears of the Sun. I love Training Day. Yeah. Those are good, man. But as far as like this William Friedkin thing, like I guess we'll talk. I wanted to talk about it when Luke was on here, so we won't dive super into it. But I will say I'm kind of glad if he's not going to show up. That means I can watch the rest of his movies that I haven't seen yet, or that I haven't seen in a while. Because, dude, me and Megan watched so many of them. We watched like, I want to say like 6 William Friedkin movies this past week, and they were all they're all good.
And Jackie was watching the Pope's Exorcist.
Oh, Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I was like, "What are you watching?"
I mean,
scary as fuck.
I heard it's okay.
Was it scary?
No, I didn't see it. I heard it was okay.
I don't know.
But dude, I mean, I will talk about, like, first of all, I'll just list the ones I didn't see. I'm not gonna count any of the TV movies. I guess I could watch his old movies now, like The Birthday Boy, The Night They Raided Minsky's, The Boys in the Band. These are movies from like 1960s, 1971, 70. The Birthday Party. He's got a movie called Good Times. It's a Sonny and Cher movie. Maybe I'll check that one out. He did an Alfred Hitchcock hour. But then 1971, he does The French Connection. And that movie, I watched it. Megan was bored by it, but I liked it a lot. And it was slow, but it had a great action-packed ending. And it kind of had like a downer of an ending. Like kind of the bad guys kind of get away in a sense. But then, I mean, like that's the thing is like, I don't know. I was saying this earlier when we were talking about The Exorcist because that was his next movie in 1973. And I'm going to be talking about The Exorcist on Cannoli Sasquatch's channel in October. So I'm going to really dissect the shit out of that movie, hopefully. But yeah, dude, just how good it is. It's definitely his best movie, William Friedkin. I mean, it's just so scary because like the writer and the director were kind of clashing. And because of that, like the movie ended up being way better because they kind of compromised, you know? And there was like a great interview I watched of the two of them, like still arguing about it to like, 10 years ago, like disputing like how they should have handled certain scenes. So it's real good. But then, dude, the movies I did watch that were his were Sorcerer, Cruising, To Live and Die in L.A., Rampage. He did the Tales from the Crypt episode on a dead man's chest. I also watched Jade and The Hunted, which were fucking badass, both of those. So I need to watch Killer Joe. I've seen Bug. I need to rewatch Killer Joe. I need to watch The Rules of Engagement again. He did 12 Angry Men with Jack Lemmon. I need to watch The Guardian tomorrow with Michael. That's going to be fun. But dude, Sorcerer. I was hoping, like you, dude, here's your double feature for next time. Are you listening, Ethan? Sorcerer followed by On Golden Pond. Okay. Seriously. Or maybe do them reverse order. I don't know. But Sorcerer was so badass. Like I could talk about it for like an hour, but basically like the plot, it's kind of like Speed, except there's no villain. The villain's basically fate. But yeah, it's one of those movies where you kind of don't realize what the hell's happening. Like the first like 30, 40 minutes is where you finally kind of understand what the movie's like actually about. And what it's about these 4 dudes who happen to be in Central America. They all have their own reasons why they're like hiding out in the jungle, living in some poverty-stricken like country that is used for mining, oil drilling. There's like oil rigs. And one of the oil rigs has been like exploded by terrorists. So they need to like plug the oil rig, like in There Will Be Blood. They need to blow it up. So they have some dynamite, but it's stored like far away, like it's supposed to be. And it wasn't stored correctly. So like all the nitroglycerin, like the liquid has like seeped out of the dynamite. So like these boxes of dynamite have become like these insanely volatile bombs where if you like just the slightest vibration could cause them to blow up. So they have to take 2 truckloads of this shit. They can't fly it across because of turbulence. So they have to drive it through 200 miles of jungle. And they have to get 4 drivers who are like on a suicide mission, basically, who have nothing to lose. And they'll get paid like exorbitant amount of money if they do it. And there's 2 trucks because one of the trucks, in case one of the trucks blows, it's that dangerous. They have like a backup truck, So it's fucking insane, dude. And it's like 2 trucks in the jungle, like in pouring rain, driving like 5 miles an hour. And you're like on the edge of your seat, dude. It was great. Tangerine Dream did the soundtrack too. So highly recommend it, man.
Well, that sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, I still don't really know why it's called Sorcerer, but I like it. It's called well, technically one of the trucks is called Sorcerer in Spanish. It starts with a P.
Who was the lead?
Roy Scheider from Jaws.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because they worked
Oh, that
together
guy.
on the French Connection. French
Okay.
Connection was Gene Hackman and Roy Scheider as the cops.
Yeah.
And they're like busting up heroin dealers in New York, man. They find out there's like these French drug dealers in New York with connections in Marseille. But it was kind of like The Wire, where it's like a lot of stuff directly taken from The Wire. Like there's the part where the guy's like, Gene Hackman's like chasing the main dude and he gets on a train and like, you know, he fakes out the guy and then he ends up on the train and he misses the train and you see the guy like doing the Avon Barksdale at him, you know? And it was like, oh shit, dude, he gets away. So good. But yeah, Gene Hackman was also like scary son of a bitch in that movie. Crazy, corrupt, racist, drunk cop, you know, like Nixon style drug cops, you know, like these motherfuckers could just walk into a bar and tell everybody at the bar, empty your pockets, put your fucking hands on the bar. All you motherfuckers, listen to me, you know, like we're going to take all your drugs and pour them in beer. It's like nowadays, it's like, brotherfucker, you can't touch me without probable cause.
Mea culpa.
But yeah, the other good ones we watched were, there's Deal of the Century, which is something Luke was talking about watching. It's like his only comedy with Chevy Chase and who was the lady? Chevy Chase and Sigourney Weaver. Something about like arms dealers, a comedy about arms dealers. But we also watched Jade, which was like an erotic thriller. And that was like, I realized like, maybe you should watch Jade and On Golden Pond.
these are all Friedkin?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
This guy here in the wallpaper, but Jade that was one of those like Basic Instinct style, like murder mystery movies that makes you all horny. Everyone's all Megan was talking about how like, she's so upset how like, you know, you only see dudes getting head in movies. You never see women getting head. You never see guys going down on women in movies. And literally as soon as she said that, there's like 7 cunnilingus scenes in this movie. Like we weren't even like, I didn't even like say, oh, you like cunnilingus? Let me put on Jade. I had never seen it before. We were watching it. There's like a car chase or something. She's like, you know what? More movies need cunnilingus. And then bam, cunnilingus. Then more bam, cunnilingus. It turns out this is crazy. I mean, this is kind of a little bit of a spoiler.
Yeah, is there a statistic?
Huh?
A statistic of
no
cunnilingus
No. I'm sure. I definitely agree. I'm sure there's more, especially when you take into account pornos. Like definitely pornos. Like a lot of dudes always getting blowjobs. You know, she was complaining that women are rarely getting oral in porno movies, and I was like, no, I see plenty of pornos where it's pretty standard. Yeah. There's like a formula. But anyway,
that's why it's unrealistic.
This is why the cover is so funny. This is the cover of the movie. This is literally her getting head on the cover of the movie. And I was like, dude, I didn't realize that. She's literally getting cunnilingus on the cover of the movie. Some fantasies go too far. David Caruso, Linda Fiorentino, Chaz Palminteri. Here's what's fucked up.
David Caruso? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. And like I was saying, we watched Jade and we were talking about Nick Cage movies earlier. We're like, dude, Kiss of Death. Kiss of Death is so like underrated. So good. But what's so funny about Friedkin, we were watching The Hunted. And I remember like Bug. You remember Bug with Ashley Judd?
Yes.
They're like meth heads in the apartment and they think there's bugs.
That was a weird fucking movie.
I love that movie. That movie was heavily advertised as a William Friedkin film. And I remember thinking like, oh man, William Friedkin, the director of The Exorcist. This movie's 2006, right? And I was thinking like, I remember when that movie's coming out, I was like, wow, the guy from The Exorcist, he's finally making another movie. I didn't realize that he had made The Hunted with Benicio del Toro just 3 years prior.
Oh, shit.
And he also made The Rules of Engagement with Sam Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones. He did 2 movies back to back with Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
He also did the 12 Angry Men made for TV movie on HBO with Jack Lemmon. Wow. I didn't realize he did Jade. He made Blue Chips with Shaq and Nick Nolte.
Shit.
I need to watch that one. Yes.
Yeah, I know Blue Chips.
Yeah,
like
Blue
that.
Chips is fucking the guy who did The Exorcist made Blue Chips.
That's insane.
Did that blow your mind?
Yeah.
Talk about a versatile career.
Yeah, that's wild. I did not know that.
But yeah, I was gonna say the Tales from the Crypt episode he did. It says he does Tales from the Crypt here in his resume, and it's one episode, and you're like, click it, and it's like on a dead man's chest. And I immediately know what episode that is. Do you know which one that is, Chris?
No, I don't. Sorry.
That's the one with the rock guy. He's like a rock band guy. He plays guitar or something, and his singer is dating Tia Carrere. And Tia Carrere is like this Yoko Ono type character for the band, and the guitar player hates her. Yeah. And it's like causing the band to like break up. And they're like, you know, playing all these top premier like LA bars. Now keep in mind, this is like 90s like leather rock. This shit is gay. It's like, you know, like it's like, you know, these guys were hair like back, you know, hair metal is already 10 years old, you know, that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And this guy, you know, they're breaking up, and like the dude hates this guy's girlfriend, hates her, his fiance, I guess, hates her, Tia Carrere. Meanwhile, he's like banging this hooker, blonde haired groupie, and she's got this awesome like snake tattoo on her titty, and it's so amazing. He loves the tattoo. He needs to know where she got it. It's like the snake tattoo, like almost looks like it's coming alive. It looks so good, and he's like, oh, I know this guy, you know, and it's one of the fat rapper dudes. What are they called? The easy dudes? Easy? No. What are those three fat rappers? Well, anyway, one of those guys. He's the tattoo artist, and his whole idea is he does the old school voodoo tattoo with like the hammer, you know. Yeah. And he tells the guy, it's one of the best lines ever in any of the Tales from the Crypt episodes. It's like. Yeah. This guy is like telling this dude, you know, he basically is like tells this guy like, look, you don't tell me what you want. He's like, I'm thinking I want like something like cool, like a so-and-so on my He's like, no, shut up. I do my thing. The tattoo comes out of the person. You understand? You don't tell me verbally what you want on you. He's like, take off your shirt. He takes off his shirt, and he's like smoking a big like blunt like cigar. And he's like looking at this dude, this rocker dude, and he's just like fat rapper dude smoking a cigar, looking at this rock star guy covered in all these tattoos. And he just says like the shit people put on their bodies these days. And the guy's like, man, fuck you, dude. Each one of these tattoos tells a story, man. He's like, yeah, story about a guy drunk out of his fucking mind with money in his pocket that he wants to burn, you know. Your tattoos don't mean shit. And he's like, all right, fine. You do me, you give me his tattoo. He's like, all right. And he gives him the super fucking gigantic, painful tattoo on his back. No, on his chest. It's like a huge tattoo on his chest. It's all hammered, colored. It takes all day. He's fucking finally done. And he fucking looks at it, and it's a dragon with this fucking hot woman. And the woman looks just like that fucking woman he hates. And he's like, what, dude? No, she put you up to this. He's like, no, dude, she's on your mind. That's why she came out. You know, that's why she's on your chest, dude. And the episode from there he goes fucking crazy to where he basically kills her and carves his chest off. Jeez. So like when the fucking boyfriend, the fiance, the band dude comes into the dressing room looking for them, he finds his girlfriend strangled to death, and the dude holding his severed fucking chest tattoo, like, I got rid of her, dude. I finally got rid of her. It's so good, dude. So William Friedkin, everyone.
I think Tales from the Crypt, I can remember 3 episodes from my childhood, which stood out was, the vampire werewolf one where they got eaten. The second one, remember friggin' was Ray Dong Chong, which is a gargoyle. That was fucking dark at the end of the episode.
Dude, I hate to tell you this, but that is not Tales from the Crypt. That's the Tales from the Dorkside movie.
Really? Oh, fuck. I thought Tales from the Crypt. All right.
No, Tales from the Dorkside movie had the one where the mobster has to kill that black cat. And the black cat like fucking stuffs itself. Like he swallows, like the cat like goes in his mouth and makes him swallow the cat.
Yeah.
And then the old man comes back like expecting to see the hitman killed the cat finally, and the hitman's dead. And then right at midnight, the cat crawls out of the dude's stomach.
I remember that. Oh shit. Yeah, no, I thought Sales from Crypt. Well, then
No.
the third one I was remember the one with the magician and the 9 lives. That one
Yeah,
was Tales from the
that was
Crypt.
one of the first ones. Yeah, that was Joey
Yeah.
Pantoliano.
And
And
oh yeah,
it's,
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shit.
and he's like he's doing the math in his head. He gets buried alive, and he doesn't
Yes.
realize like when he got the transplant, that was count life number 1.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's like doing the math. He's like, wait a minute. If I died on that table, then that means I don't have any lives left.
Yeah.
And he starts panicking and he dies.
That's what I'm saying. Like that show, there was I mean, there was it 2-3 seasons of that show? It didn't last that long though.
No, dude, there's 6 seasons, and the
Really?
6th season is all English, and yeah, and most of them are on YouTube too. So like, check them all out.
Yeah.
They're so
Yeah.
good. Some of the ones that are amazing that come right to mind are the Christopher Reeves one. Like you could just look them up by the actors in them, but the Christopher Reeves one, where What's Cooking? Christopher Reeves has a squid shop on some squid coastal town. He's like he's sure that his squid restaurant's gonna make money, and of course they're not. They're struggling. And Judd Nelson is like their little busboy who works at their restaurant, and he's got this great barbecue recipe. And it turns out that they give it a shot, and it turns out that it's like human meat basically. Yeah. It's like basically Christopher Reeves cannibal. Pretty good stuff. There's also there's some episodes that are funny, like the one where the death of some salesman, or Ed Beagley Jr. and Tim Curry. It's Tim Curry as this entire inbred family, like kind of like the Clumps, but like it's Tim Curry playing like 3 people, and then Ed Beagley Jr. is like the salesman. And dude, that one is twisted and hilarious. And then there's other episodes that were legit scary. Like you want to watch the actual scary ones? That's like television terror or whatever, where the guy is doing like the Geraldo thing, where we're gonna go in the house live, on camera to take you through the death house, where the crazy old lady was killing all of her nursing home victims. And like he goes in the house and like they capture like literal like haunting shit on camera. That shit was creepy. And then the other creepy one, back to Ninja Turtles, the guy from Turtles 2, David Warner.
Okay.
The episode that he's in is fucking scary. That's a scary episode.
Yeah.
About like he's like a child radio psychologist, and he's got a child. His show is kind of like that nanny who he whips like disobedient kids into shape. He talks to parents about how to get good results out of your disobedient children. He does it on the radio, and of course the show's not doing good. And the girl from Poltergeist, Zelda Rubinstein, the little one, she has a daughter that's the biggest problem ever. And he's like, I'm going to go to this house and help this woman personally, and it's going to be good for the show. And of course, it ends up being like some kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre type shit going on there. It's freaky. Yeah. There's so many good ones. I think they're all good, honestly, even the stupid ones. But what else? Watch some other good stuff. Watched a whole lot of movies. In fact, let me see here. Let me get on Twixter. I made a list of some of the stuff we watched. I think I got it all. I think I talked about all of them. Notifications. Here we go. Yeah, we watched Sorcerer, Rampage. Okay, Rampage was about crazy Christmas time killer. It's a true story about a guy who was just going on a killing spree, killing families and drinking their blood. Because he thought he was literally a vampire. He basically thought he was dying, and if he didn't kill these families and drink their blood, he would die. And the whole movie is about like, the death penalty. Like, so yeah.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, it was pretty.
All those movies sound pretty intense.
Yeah, they're fun. That's why it's so funny to find out he made Blue Chips.
Yeah, right. That's
like, what the
crazy
fuck?
departure. Yeah, but I saw that, man. It was really good.
He also did
it kind of exposed like how the corruption, in terms of like giving high school athletes money to go to college, and they like form this dream team.
We were watching The Thin Red Line, and Nick Nolte's so good in that one because like I hadn't seen that one in a while, and of course I fell asleep into it again because it's so It's the only movie where there's like mortar shells going off and gunfire, and like everyone's just kind of like dozing off like an hour into it. It's got such like a fever dream quality to it. But Nick Nolte as the crazy general who's like, you've got to take that hill. And they're like, dude, these Japanese are burrowed into these murder holes and we can't get past them. Like they're literally slaughtering our men. And he's like, you gotta, because John Travolta told me, we've got to capture the island. It's good.
And only one guy can like deliver that line like him,
Dude, all the Nick Nolte jokes in the Rick tracks. Bad shot. Oh, God. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, he was such a great basketball coach.
You take that hill. You better slam dunk that fucking basketball, you tall son of a bitch. Or I'll kick your black ass back to Florida.
That's it.
Nick Nolte, man. Just gravel your voice and shake your head violently with like loose cheeks. Well, you son of a bitch. I'm your father, Hulk. The Incredible Hulk. I'm absorbing man. What a weird movie.
Throwing some garbly.
Yeah.
Garble.
He just sounds like he sleeps in a dumpster, like I'm here to read my lines.
Yeah.
You listen, you son of a bitch. You don't know nothing. Yeah, but the other movie we watched that was really good was I don't know if you guys remember this one, but it was a HBO original movie from the 90s. And it was got David Schwimmer and Chris Cooper in it. And it's called Breast Men. Have you heard of this?
Sounds familiar.
It's one of those movies you might have watched if you had HBO back in the day. But it's a dramatized, heavily dramatized story about the inventors of the silicone breast implant. And I gotta say, it was a really funny movie. And it was like Blow or Boogie Nights, but about titties. There's literally titties on the back of this cover. Let me use a different fucking picture here. One that doesn't have actual nipples. God. I guess I got a YouTube strike, maybe. Who knows? Shit. I'm also worried about Barbarella because Barbarella, there's so much nudity in it. And I know like some titties like snuck through the editing process because I didn't notice them. But dude, if I don't notice them while I'm editing, then Jesus Christ, they're pretty hidden titties. You know what I mean? There's like a woman like that's like disguised as a statue and she's painted in the background. And I'm like, oh, those are titties that I did not blur out. Let's see if I get in trouble for that.
Who's the Chris Cooper?
Yeah, from American Beauty. That's another one we watched this weekend, American Beauty. But basically, it's like, it takes place in Baylor University, Texas, Waco. They two doctors, plastic surgeons. That's the thing. It's the late 50s, early 60s, and David Schwimmer is like a 25-year-old resident. He's like too old, and he's still like doing. Is practicing. He's not really going anywhere in his medical degree. He's a doctor. He's literally went through the motions and he's kind of apprenticing under Chris Cooper, who's a fucking asshole. And they kind of realize like plastic surgery is kind of like a joke. They're called beauticians. I mean, they're usually only used for like, you got disfigured in an accident,
What city were they in?
So they're in Baylor near Waco. And then eventually they go to Houston.
Okay.
But it was one of those cool movies where it's 90 minutes long, but it takes place over like 4 decades, So the pacing is really good. Like you see David Schwimmer and all them like put on like old man makeup at the end of the movie, They had their titty empire that they built, It's so funny how like they invent like the first 20, 30 minutes of the movie is like the 50s. And it's all very like Leave It to Beaver. Like these women, they try to why are women always stuffing their bra? Why are they buying padded bras? Why are they buying breast enhancement cream? Women want bigger breasts. And, they're talking about how like, well, many people have tried to increase the women's breast size and they all ended up like maiming and disfiguring these women. They were trying like porous sponges that like grow, like tissue grows into them. They were also saying like they used to put glass balls and paraffin wax in titties. And all this stuff was just like killing their patients. And he's like, well, I've got this idea of like, an inert like plastic bag basically with salt water in it
the saline.
Yeah, and they talk back to someone else, and they're like, they talk to the silicone gel people, and they're like, we're going to use silicone gel because A, it's perfectly safe. B, it's like not silicone liquid, which is already dangerous. They already knew about that. This is silicone gel.
Yeah, because it's like burst, right?
Yeah, and it's in a totally non-biodegradable, it doesn't break down, this little pouch, this plastic fiber, polyfiber, pouch. And, basically the idea is like, because they own the patent on silicone gel and these dudes own the patent for the breast implant, they make fuckloads of money, like overnight, basically. Cause like, as soon as they realize that this operation is easy and available, like, all of a sudden, like, business. It's like, their waiting room is full, and then it's suddenly like montage style, like cuts to them, and now they have like the 70s sideburns and like the big stupid glasses and the turtleneck and the sports cars and the disco music's playing. Like I said, dude, it's like Boogie Nights. Yeah. About breast implants. So another one I recommend.
It sounds cool, man.
We watched a fuckload of movies this week, man. Me and Meg.
That's awesome. You know what? I watched Contact today. That was the last one.
Yeah. Megan was saying that literally she was saying that 2 days ago. We were like talking about stuff to fall asleep to. She's like, let's put on Contact. And I'm like, I'll just watch it. I'll just watch the whole 2.5 hours because it's a good movie.
Yeah, and I show you now when because we both worked from home today and we're just hanging out.
When was the last time you watched Contact, Chris?
That Zemeckis shot, like
it's been a while.
Up the stairs and
when she's in the mirror and then it turns into herself. Yeah, that shit's great.
I was like, Jackie watches this cool shot of the movie.
Yeah, that's the beginning. Yeah, the beginning. It kind of blows his load in the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's some great shit at the end. Yeah, at the end. What I was saying.
Fucking 6 shots in that one.
Or fucking South Park, Mr. Garrison starts throwing up. He's like, God damn it. The whole thing.
Yeah, it's like that movie Contact. Please stop. That movie was terrible. You wait until the goddamn end to see the fucking aliens, and it just ends up being your fucking father.
Yeah.
But yeah, they make a very clear point. Like, hey, they also make fun of Contact in the episode with the those Jew aliens that run the fucking Earth planet. What are they called? But like they show up and they're like, oh no, yeah, they're canceling the Earth, and like the big alien shows up and he's like disguised as like Santa Claus or whatever. They're like, no, we don't like that. Well, how about your father? Yeah, I took the form of your father, so it'd be easier. He's like, no, that's not cool. Like, well, how about Santa Claus? No.
So that was all Contact.
How about Oprah? How about this? No. And eventually they just pick a giant taco that poops ice cream. It's like, all right, that works.
Yeah.
They joke about that in Venture Brothers when Dr. Venture met his dad and it was a fucking alien at the end.
Oh, yeah. There's like new episodes of that coming out soon, right?
Well, no, the movie just came out. So it's the official. The movie is the finale for Venture Brothers, which people tend to forget. Venture Brothers hit 20 years. This was the 20-year anniversary. So this is the official finale. So,
dude, that's the other thing I was watching was like Adult Swim Sunday nights. Like you can find on YouTube like big 4-hour blocks of Adult Swim from like the 2004, 2002. Yeah. And you're like, dude, and then like there's like tiers of like the Adult Swim because like we're watching. Then it starts getting into those first seasons where like the Brack Show and Space Ghosts, and then it starts getting weird with like then you start getting into Moral Oral. Yeah, C-Lab was great.
Yeah.
Me and Meg watched a lot of Moral Oral this week. That was fun. And also, these 11-minute episodes. Those are always a tight, fun, short little spadoinkle. Moral Oral, and then like later, like what's on Adult Swim now is just like so bizarre. It's like compared to like the early days, the quaint days of the quaint times of the Brack Show and the Oblongs.
Yeah,
you guys remember the Oblongs?
Yeah,
Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Well, what else is going on, Chris? What do you got going planned for the channel?
What's it now? It's just basically catching up because I think besides technically speaking, Equalizer 3 is next week. So it's just like Wes said, once we finish Justified Banshee, it's one of the shows where everyone kept talking about it in the Critical Drinker group. I sat down and watched season 1 and I'm like, this show is fucking amazing. And why is no one talking about it? So he wants to do rewatches just to boost people like, hey, you need to watch Banshee. This show is fucking amazing.
I know Wes
Cinemax.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
one,
Wes likes to like prop up these shows that nobody else is like giving enough credit to.
Yeah, well, it says that there's a lot of shows out there that
As
came
long
out.
as it's
this
not
year,
another
you know?
Yellow Jacket situation, you know.
Hey, Blue.
Yeah.
As long as you're watching this show and like loving it.
like Jackie and I's favorite show of all time, Justified. So it's really cool. That you're covering
boy.
that shit, man.
Yeah, but
So he's talking about Justified City. What's the verdict on this season now? It's not good.
I mean,
I've been really enjoying it myself.
It's definitely it's not bad, but it's not as good as Justified, only because we're still. Yeah, so Raylan is just it's like Wes was saying right now. It feels like they don't know what to do with him. That's the problem we're having right now. Is like Raylan, no one's been killed. He hasn't killed anybody. We're 6 episodes in. He hasn't
killed anybody. Oh,
exactly.
Well, I think he's he's
Where's the
plug and play. Like
murder?
you can put him anywhere and him just
Yeah.
like smooth out a scene and make it cool. I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I think Oliphant's great in that role.
He is. He knows the character of Raylan, which I wish Wes would come back, but he feels he's very toned down compared to what he was in Justified. And it's it's like putting, I don't know, it's like imagine putting John Wick into a freaking Continental show and you're 6 episodes in and nobody's been killed yet. It's like, come on, guys. But no, you've probably seen it.
Yeah.
Maybe will it redeem itself if the last episode he just kills everybody? Would that make everything better?
It won't redeem because
make it worse.
like Wes would say episode 5 is a fucking abomination.
Yeah, I heard there was some
Oh my
I don't know
God.
the show, but like apparently one of the recent episodes upset everybody. What happened? Someone fucked someone that they weren't supposed to or something?
Exactly. What's like who said Raylan is? I mean, Oliphant at one point takes his shirt off. The guy is pushing 60. He's fucking.
We're talking about Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, right? I always say
he's
Oliphant.
a hot dude. He's a hot
He
dude.
is. And the guy's got a shirt
man,
off.
dude. Remember him in Go?
Yeah, that's why you can't buy the relationship with the lawyer. Yeah.
Chicks watch that scene in Go where he like tells Katie Holmes like to take her shirt off so she doesn't have a wire, and he turns on Massive Attack real loud. Most girls watch that show and they're like, "I'd let him take me. I'd let him do what he wants with me right there." Yeah.
Yeah,
but go ahead. He's pushing 60.
He's pushing 60. He's got a shirt off. The guy's ripped. He's ripped like a fucking statue. He's got like 1% body fat. The guy's lean, and like Wes was saying, he's fucking a chick that's number 1, not good looking. Number 2, got a big gut, and just like there's a certain level of like in Justified. In Justified, he bangs some hot chicks. And
that's what I was saying with Keanu Reeves.
I looked at we posted. I looked over. I was like, this kind of pulls me out of it because he would not be.
He's having sex with her personality, Chris.
And she doesn't have that. And like that's what he said. At least if they had chemistry, it makes sense.
She got some big.
Is he fucking her for information? Is she like going to end up being like one of the baddies, and he's like double crossing her?
So wait till Wes pops in, because no, I have no understanding of like if you watch 6 seasons of Justified,
dude.
There's no way in hell Raylan would fuck a chick like this. It doesn't make any sense. That's what's scary about it. But it's just like, but there's not like a lot of action because Justified it isn't too much action, but like you want to see. Said Raylan is just very neutered, and you're like in comparison to what he was in Justified, it's like, it's like watching the point in Top Gun Maverick or half these fucking or John Wick 4 is these guys are fucking Keanu or Tom Cruise Mission Impossible is pushing 60. They're all still badasses.
Well, I still want to watch Mr. In Between, so it's like Mr. In Between and this Banshee show. And what else?
Yeah.
Justified, the other show, Justified.
City Primeval.
Well, that's what I like promoting Banshee because we talked about this so much that with Ash versus Evil Dead, and I still like Nerdrotic said season 1 is fucking perfection, and I still like season 2 and 3, but nobody fucking watched goddamn Ash versus Evil Dead, and they fucking canceled it. And I bought all 3 seasons. I love Ash versus Evil Dead, but nobody watched that.
I'm sorry to say this. I'm just now realizing the irony here because earlier you said I didn't pick up on this, but I'm like thinking about it now, and I'm like, wait a minute. Blue Collar Loser said that he doesn't own any blue shirts. Is that accurate? Like that's what you said, right? I didn't put that together. That your fucking name is Blue Collar Loser. You don't have a single blue shirt.
After tomorrow, I'm gonna buy one.
Because I was like, when you said that, I immediately thought like, I got blue shirts. I'm wearing a blue shirt, but I didn't even think of it like. I've been branding all your thumbnails with like blue, blue this and blue that.
I know.
That should be like, oh God.
I went to my whole wardrobe and I'm like, I have no fucking blue shirts. What the fuck?
That's
and
amazing.
He doesn't drink Johnny Walker Blue either.
Go to Walmart. You'll find plenty of blue, solid blue shirts.
I want to get a fucking the Will Ferrell shirt that says like, you're my boy Blue.
I think it's because there you go. I think it's because I get my shirts in the underwear section. That's where you get the solid color shirts. Just a plain solid Henley or plain solid fucking t-shirt.
I keep getting more shirts. Like I see a Stitch shirt for $5, I gotta buy it. I see a Dragon Ball Z shirt for $6, I gotta buy it.
You mean like Lilo and Stitch?
Yes, Stitch. Yes,
I like Stitch.
That's
for me,
why I'm so heartbroken. I know Disney. I know they're gonna fuck him up. I mean, he's looking.
Oh, yeah.
He should not be CGI. It's gonna look fucking terrible. I know.
Yeah, but he'd look weird if he was a puppet too. Because I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
It has to be a blend of puppetry plus CGI, kind of like Where the Wild Things Were, the live action movie. Even though that was a weird movie, like when you do a blend like that, it looks. Yeah. It looks like it's real in camera, but you just computer animate the eyes and the mouth a little.
What's Disney? They're gonna fucking make Lilo non-binary. To make fucking Stitch. To make Stitch a transgender fucking alien, and it's
yeah. Of course, yeah. Stitch is not male nor female. They'll make a point to make sure that everyone realizes that Stitch has both organs. Okay, Stitch has penis and vagina. They'll probably say it specifically in the kids' movie.
But I've been working on my House of the Dragon video. Me and my cousin, we recorded it about 6 months ago. And of course, she's like, Chris, you haven't uploaded it yet. And I'm like, Susan, again, like I just finished episode 5. Do you understand how long it takes to we watch 10 episodes of House of the Dragon? That's a lot of fucking editing. A lot.
Oh shit. We had a I mean, that's how I am with Flubber. I watched, I think the 4th movie we watched and re-recorded and edited and have ready to go is Flubber. I made Flubber like in January, and it's been sitting. I've been, in case there's ever like an emergency and I can't get a video out this Wednesday. I haven't had to use it yet. It's going to be, you'll know that if Flubber ever comes out, it means I was very busy this week.
Yeah.
It means I did the last ditch effort, and I'll have to come up with another backup tape, but Flubber is like one I'm sitting on.
The Jerry one.
What Jerry?
Flubber.
You mean the
no, Robin Williams,
the original?
No, not Jerry Lewis. No, we're talking about the one with Robin Williams.
Oh, okay.
I watched that one with Veebs and Cooch, like 2 people who don't even show up on the Wii Watches anymore. They got too busy.
What y'all watch last?
So Barbarella's coming out this Wednesday, and we watched that last because it was like,
I love that movie.
Yeah, it was fun, and like I said, that was one of the reasons why we watched on Golden Pond. Because we were like Jane Fonda, and we was like, oh, it's just funny because Jane Fonda was like, she's such a feminist, and the fact that she's in Barbarella is hilarious.
Yeah,
she's like, I guess I made a joke about that in the beginning of the video, but it's like, yeah, I guess that was the feminist thing to do back then, is show your titties.
Well, that's probably
any Hanoi Jane references by chance.
Yeah, well, Duran Duran, so many Duran jokes. I think I sang like 4 or 5 Duran Duran little teases throughout the video. Anytime they say Duran Duran, I'm just like, her name is Rio, and but yeah, like I said, Jane Fonda, babe, total babe.
Oh man, the opening sequence,
dude. She's I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but she's like, it's like the gravity disrobing scene, but like,
I was like, whatever this is, I'm in.
She's literally just like rolling on clear plexiglass, like a floor, crazy. And it looks like she's in zero gravity, because she's just rolling on this like clear cellophane, and like taking all of her clothes off and stuff. So funny. And then they take the credits and they try to like cover her nipples, and they do a terrible job. I still had to like black out the screen. I was like, dude, there's totally nipples all throughout this movie. This movie was it's a sex film.
Yeah.
She literally has to fuck the universe to save the galaxy from war. She has to fuck all these like esteemed generals and leaders to like bring peace to the galaxy. But then it's funny because like they have Demolition Man style sex in the future, where they take pills and they touch hands. But then like these Earth people like show them how to fuck for real. And she's like all singing and shit in bed, like la 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 la. And then she meets this guy. And they have the most awkward, like this guy, he wants to make love with her, and she's like, great. And he's like, let me find my pill. And she's like, oh, wait, you don't want to have sex like the old fashioned way? She's like, no, I'm not a savage. I've got my pill. I've got pills ready. and then they do the actual like Demolition Man style sex, and it's like one of the most awkward sex scene I've ever seen in my life. If you're gonna watch the We Watch for any reason, watch it for that sex scene. Because I don't need to edit that one because it's funny and there's no nudity.
Yeah.
But yeah, Barbarella was fun. Other movies I got planned for We Watch. We got, like I said, the thing thing with two heads. There's also
wait, was that the two guys with the head sewn?
Yeah, I talked about it earlier. It's like a racist old man sewed on a black prison convict's body.
This, yeah.
It's from the 70s, and it's like, dude, remake that movie today. Do it. Fuck yeah, dude. That would be awesome. Like an actual, like, because we know how we like, Hollywood loves fantasizing about racism. Well, fuck, dude, let's do it for real. Let's make an actual movie about an actual fucking racist who gets his head sewn onto a black death row inmate and they escape. Like
how does that get made? Like,
oh yeah, and just like
that?
have it become a comedy. Like, just do the comedy remake. Make it a comedy action. Like, have fucking Will Ferrell be the head and Kevin Hart be the black dude.
I love it.
There you go.
There it is. $14.
Or how about flip it? So black Kevin Hart is the black billionaire, right? And Will Ferrell is the prison convict on death row. So you get a black dude's head sewed on a white man's body, and the black guy can be totally racist to the white guy, right? Because that's allowed nowadays.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
It's like the white and black cookie.
An Oreo. Dude, there's a part where literally, like, it's like a black man. Yeah, it's an Oreo. It was like a human Oreo. Get a third black head. Get two but donor heads. Get two black heads on one white man's body. Like one head on each shoulder.
Double cream.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the other movies we watched. I can't because like I copied them over to my hard drive for work in progress folder.
And so the one before I watched Contact was the Super Mario Brothers movie.
The new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fell asleep. I was very tired.
I was shocked that it was just like a basic note for note remake of the game. Like
great animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, hey,
I only made it so far.
You're gonna beat Bowser. Let's do the video game level editor. It's like, what? Literally jump on these 2D platforms.
It was very nostalgic hearing the noises.
Yeah. I had that in the background when I was editing Strays. Just I like it was fun for me because fucking Bowser. It's just things like he gives Peaches the friggin' flowers and they're biting him and he just stomps the shit out of them and stuff. And
yeah, unfortunately, that could be why like editing takes too long. Like with editing, like when I'm working on graphics, I can listen to and watch whatever the fuck I want. I can listen to all kinds of podcasts. I can listen to music and podcasts at the same time. But when I'm editing, I can't listen to shit except the editing thing I'm editing. I'm just that guy, and it's like can't be distracted when I'm editing. Sure. And also like when you're listening, even if I was just listening to music, still like there's like sounds like that you wouldn't pick up. Like sometimes someone's like crinkling a wrapper or something, and you're like, oh, I don't want that in the fucking cut. But like with the music, like you'd miss shit like that, Kind of a perfectionist. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but my editing style. No, I'm just joking.
I'll be your Foley artist.
Oh man, yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm excited to have Queef was working the past month or two, very busy, and I want by the way, I need people to. I'm gonna start on the Discord. I'm gonna start a Schlocktober list of like what I plan to watch for the 31 days of Halloween. And October.
I love that. Yeah.
And I need people to sign up for them. These are going to be like black and white, public domain, like fucking bullshit movies, like
right
Bela Lugosi stuff, And we are going to watch some like also decent horror movies, all from September through November. Okay. So like the weekly movies will still be good, but like for Halloween, October, I want one of these public domain videos to come out every fucking day.
So when you're gonna put out the list, have you decided yet, or? Yeah,
I've made the list, but I haven't put it up yet.
Okay.
But like now that I'm back in town and it's August still, like starting September, like I want to like it'd be great if we could record all 31 of them in September.
Dude.
So by the time October rolls around, like they're just like they're pre-organized. And then through Halloween we could actually watch like the Pumpkinheads and the cool like fun horror movies. Warlock. I want to watch Warlock 1 and 2. I want to watch so much shit. I have no problem taking Halloween movies all the way through fucking, end of Thanksgiving. From September all the way through Thanksgiving, let's do horror movies. Not necessarily horror movies, but spooky movies. We can still do kids movies that have like horror vibes and, you know,
I love
monsters.
the Addams Family animation movies they did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Those were fun.
Great.
But yeah, I definitely want to keep more like The Hunted. You know, sometimes I release these random videos and they get like tons of views. And like the Jean-Claude Van Damme ones are all doing good. And like random action movies like The Hunted do good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's just fun. I don't know. I mean, I think just in general, like definitely the channel's moving up, getting like averaging between like 100 and 200 views, sometimes 300 views a video.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, man. Y'all are great.
Dude, yeah, Blue Collar.
Really
How's monetization working so far for you? I mean,
So I guess
are you struggling keeping up with the pressures of the comment section? And
I did notice that comments have been pretty still okay. There is one more, I guess, tier that, so technically speaking, you get monetized, like you get super sticker and super chat. So of course, RRT and Z gave me my first super sticker, which thanks, dude. I felt weird to the guys. You know?
I would be happy with never monetizing any of my videos, but just if like I could get super chats from these streams, even if I don't get super chats, you know what I mean? Like even if I just got like $5 a stream, like that's really like realistically like what I'm anticipating like in the next year or two, like where I'm going to be at. Like I'll be happy if I get that level. Super chats, you know, hey, thanks.
So that's the thing. So I got super chats and super stickers. Now, once I get more watch hours, then you become eligible for ads. So the next,
man, I'm trying to get involved in this in Russ's the B-Sup circle. All those dudes, they're all in their little circle with like Bagface and actually Andrew and Movie Cynic and Vex and Cannoli Sasquatch and Mrs. Cannoli Sasquatch. And I feel like I'm over here like, hey, hi guys, Russ's friend. Russ told me about y'all, told y'all about me, maybe. I don't know if you guys do anything. But next week, I know Uninspired Reviewer wants to come on next week. So I want to ask him if I don't know if I want to do a Friedkin stream with him, unless he's like, I'll ask him and he's like, oh, I love William Friedkin. I'm down to talk about William Friedkin all day. So if that's the case, then we'll do William Friedkin stream tomorrow or next Monday with him. But he wants to stream at like noon because he's like in Uzbekistan or some shit. He's like 7-hour difference from us.
Yeah.
Because Luke is a 5-hour difference from us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, next Monday, like whatever we're talking about, we're probably going to stream around noon. And we'll either do the William Friedkin stream with him on board, or we'll just do the get to know Uninspired Reviewer bullshit chat noon, have some day drinks type thing. Day drinks before you go pick up people at Uber type thing, you know? But yeah, that'll be fun because I know Russ, God bless the guy, love the dude. I know he's like, dude, the uninspired hour or so, I'm gonna get you guys on. And he's like talking about like penciling me in for like January or February. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, cool.
It's like it's August.
I was like, I want, we could watch Starship Troopers. I was saying, talk about Starship Troopers because I had earlier floated From Dusk Till Dawn, but I came back and I was like, honestly, if we do Starship Troopers, that'd be ideal. And he's like, cool, man. Yeah, we could probably work that in January or February. I was like, I told you about this like in May. It's like, but yeah, I mean, I think me and Chris are both penciled in case anyone ever drops out on all these other weeks. He's already scheduled out until December. So yeah, but yeah, so one of these Saturdays he might just hit me up at fucking 11 a.m. and be like, yo, I need you to come on and talk about the Expendables or whatever movie he's talking about.
Yeah, actually, had Expendables 4 is coming out soon.
Do you have any of these two host plans with these guys at all in the works?
Not to my knowledge. I mean,
what the fuck?
No one's contacting me, so
I had to like break his door down and be like, "Yo, when are we gonna do Starship Troopers or From Dusk Till Dawn?"
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I have a question for Blue Collar.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so do you like drink a different a spirit every
Yeah, I try to add some variety. I've been going for more low key stuff because I mean everyone knows like Jack Daniels, I love it. But you know what? That Jim Beam that's like $12. It's just as delicious as the $50 bottle of Jack, and it's just like there's a lot of liquors in my area that guys. I mean, I got monetized, but I still have bills to pay, and I got child support and shit like that. And so some of this, I'm not going to go blow $100 on a bottle. It's going to last me like two videos.
Do you ever drink beer or wine?
Like I said, I've never been a beer. Like I just drank two of these. The Mike's. This is a Mike's Zero Sugar. Like
Right.
I'll drink this.
Well, I was just saying because like I've told you this before, and I know. I mean, obviously, don't break the bank for it. Like, but like, let's say you're doing strays. Like, I'm sure there's like a beer or a liquor or a wine that has like cat or dog in the title. You know, like the idea, like you were doing the Kraken for the Meg. You're doing the Kraken for the Meg. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like more shit like that.
Yeah.
Like. And even though Kraken's a real well-known drink, it's easy to just review a bunch of videos that have movies that are sea related or octopus related, and you just drink Kraken constantly.
Right,
yeah. It's
but like
the dark room.
If you were drinking beer or wine, you could definitely find like any movie. You could find a drink that's appropriate for it. You know?
Like an Asian or some kind of like, would you drink sake?
That's like,
we
love sake.
We're watching today. We're watching The Hunted with Christopher Lambert versus ninjas,
like
and today I'm drinking,
sake.
green tea flavored sake. Whatever green.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, that's why I figured it depends on the film. Like like with Equalizer 3 is coming out. I don't know. Like Denzel doesn't really drink an Equalizer, so like what kind of liquor do you put with Equalizer 3? So I'll just pick up a random bottle or something. But like I want
whatever you're drinking, like flight,
Equalizer. So like the Equalizer. Let's see, like
which was everything.
Let's see here. Equalizer. I'm sure we could come up with something, but the idea is like equalize equal. Let me see here.
He does play a great drunk. So what if he just gets drunker and drunker as the equalizers progress?
Oh wait, let's ask ChatGPT, dude.
Set this up for time this to 15 seconds more than I usually would.
Dude, ChatGPT is going to tell us. So wait, let me log in. Fuck, why am I not logged in?
I'm curious with fucking Dune 2 coming out. I should find some kind of a spice, like the spice.
The spice. yeah, something like a spiced rum. There you go. Sure. Spiced rum.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. All right, dear ChatGPT. I am coming up with I need a alcoholic drink. Alcoholic
beverage.
No, yeah.
For a podcast or for YouTube.
No. You'll just confuse it.
Let's keep it simple.
First, let me figure out how to spell alcoholic.
I know. Alcohol is such a hard word.
Jesus Christ. Why am I've been drinking. All right. I need an alcoholic beverage drink. No, alcoholic product. That's what I want. Product that is related to the title, film title, The Equalizer. There you go.
Yeah.
Is it just The Equalizer 3, right? There's no like When in Rome. Oh, that's the other thing. You just drink like an Italian beverage. There you go, because it takes place in Italy.
I thought a moment ago you just said equalizer. I was like, damn, he pronounced it like equalizer. And then you said equalizer. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Everything's right in the world.
Yeah, so it gave me a cocktail. That's great, but I don't want a cocktail.
But there is equestrian.
I don't want a cocktail. I want literally a beverage, like something I could buy in the liquor store that has the name similar to Equalizer.
I know what sucks is for John Wick, the stuff that John Wick drinks, they don't sell it in New York. I was fucking pissed about that. I couldn't buy John Wick's liquor for my reviews.
Damn it. I forgot. Do you remember what he's drinking?
Look it up because
I think it's like had to be something like $300, right?
It wasn't actually. It was like $60, which I wouldn't have cared for John Wick. Let me see. Yeah.
There's probably product placement.
What? Of course, so it's still in my search bar too. What alcohol is John Wick drink? Yeah, it's right there. Oh yeah, Blanton.
Oh yeah, Blanton. That's a Kentucky.
Yeah, and again, no, I tried 10 different liquor stores, and then they said because Blanton only comes out in certain times of year, plus it's Kentucky, that it's possible to find it in New York, but you have to like check it out ahead of time. So
oh man, Right on. Well,
Which
if
might
I
be
find
fun.
a bottle, dude, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I do want to try it, but no, it's not.
Yeah,
It's not
they
that
come
expensive
out.
either.
It's seasonal. They come out right around this time.
Yep.
So yeah.
And it's because right here it says, "What bourbon does John Wick drink, and how much does it cost?"
And that's the same thing that Raylan drinks in Justified and Primeval too.
Yeah, he hasn't been
She
drinking much. I'm pissed.
Oh, so there's Equal Spirits. It's a brand that offers a premium range of spirits. There's also Equilibrium Vineyards. There's Equalizer Red Blend Wine. There's Balance Brews for beer. Okay. But I would say we just go with something Italian maybe because Equalizer's in Rome. So drink like a nice Moscato or something, or a nice Italian wine, or what's Italian liquor? Amaretto. Is that Italian or is that Mexican?
I
Sounds
think
like
that's
it is.
Italian.
Here, ChatGPT. What's a good Italian cocktail?
It knows.
Yeah, I mean it knows all, and if it doesn't, it's gonna at least bullshit its way.
And so I remember it was like you and Queef, and you were like, "Let's do like a martini, like with the
Donuts,
like donut garnish."
That's what Zach has been using ChatGPT heavily for is recipes. It's really good at recipes.
Really?
Yeah. So alcoholic beverage. God, I cannot spell alcohol. Alcohol.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, alcoholic cocktail.
HOL.
Reference that invokes the spirit of Italy.
So, Blue Collar, what was the last movie you've seen?
Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah, it was. So I seen Strays and Blue Beetle, and we are talking about that with Wes. And like we said, it wasn't a bad film, but it just at this point, the critical drinker would say that we've hit the point now with superhero films that Iron Man 1, if you look back, it may seem kind of dated by today's standards, but the thing is, because everybody's tried copying that formula, it was great in the beginning, but now after going on 15 years of the same shit, you gotta start doing something different. And Blue Beetle, Enzo said it would have did a lot better 5 years ago, and it's just everything. It's just predictable. It's been there, done that. The CG was good. The suit was fucking awesome. The acting was good, but just everything was fucking. You feel like you're watching like, damn, I've already seen this 5 times already. There's nothing original or nothing that stands out. Like that's why I was saying it's one of the films where people, if you watch it on HBO Max, you'd watch it. Hey, I had a good time, and you'd have no reason to watch it again. There's no one scene, no action sequences that stand out. It's just very like. It's been there, done that. Like I can go back and watch any John Wick film or like Equilibrium with Christian Bale, and you've got different action films. You get something out of it. Superhero films. You watch this and you're like, yeah. You walk out and 2 days you're like, what was it about again? It's so bland and just it's average.
Well, do you ever watch like older movies, like when you're just chilling at the house, or you watch mostly shows and shit like that?
I've been wanting to catch up. That's what's that. Well, my kid, we just watched the first Equalizer, so that was, and I wanted to review, but we got it's. Time's always against us.
No. That's the other thing. It's like I can't tell you how many times I'm like. Luckily, with like the We Watches, it's easy. Like sometimes like a movie starts and you're like right away, like this is We Watch worthy. But like if it's like The Hunted, it's like no, I want to just watch The Hunted with Benicio del Toro. It was a good movie. I didn't need a joke about it. It was fun.
I just Googled because you did chat GP. It says right here. I put down alcoholic beverage for Equalizer. And it says. The Equalizer drink is a tall red colored drink made from Smirnoff green apple vodka and cranberry juice.
So it's just called the Equalizer. Hell yeah.
So fuck it. I got something I can. All right.
Well, so I asked for an Italian simple liquor drink, and this is pretty good. It's called the Amaretto Sour Spritz, and it's just 2 ounces of amaretto liquor, some fresh lemon juice, simple syrup, club soda, lemon twists for garnish. I like my simple cocktails, but yeah, what you're talking about is more your style with the channel. You should do that drink. But yeah, dude, I was saying like it'd be cool if your channel like kind of had like, I mean, I'm not asking you to bust out like the fucking fancy cameras or anything, but like, dude, like it'd be cool if it was like, instead of like, hey, I've got Kraken and some fucking banana flavored Sprite, and I'm just gonna mix them and drink them. Like it'd be cool if it was like, yo, here's my cocktail I made for the Equalizer, and it's got a fancy bullshit, people love this kind of crap, I do anyway. But like your Kraken thing, like your Kraken for the Meg, like it's like, yeah, dude, that's what I'm talking about. That kind of
Yeah.
I've got some Kraken. I'm going to wash it down with some flat Sprite.
Well, especially with I mean, right now for the year, I mean, I want to see Equalizer and Dune too, but there's also, we've seen this year, there's a lot of hidden movies that just come out. Like, who knows between now and December, there could be some movie I'd never heard of. Like, shit. I've seen 20 movies this year that I never would have heard of, but
yeah, apparently next month, the Toxic Avenger remake comes out.
Really?
Wow. Right. Is that right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard something about
it comes out September 21st. So like me and Tyson, me and Farrell watched the first Toxic Avenger, and I was gonna like edit it, but when I figured that out, I was like, I'm gonna edit it and release it like the day before it comes out, September 20th or whatever the hell that is. Yeah, September 20th.
I just don't get, like, how does Peter Dinklage play a character that should be 6'2"?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they used computers and made him bigger. I mean, I hope that's what they did. Jesus, I would hate it if he was like a tiny person who has superhuman strength.
Because they might do that. That's going to be weird.
Well, I mean, again, it's like, my problem is it's like, oh, like I'm done. Playing tiny characters is beneath me. It's like, fuck you. You're a midget.
It's true.
If you don't want to play tiny characters, then let the tiny character roles go to someone else. Don't demand that the tiny character roles don't be tiny anymore. We're going to do away with all imps and dwarves and stuff in movies. Yeah, we talk about Rachel Ziegler and Snow White.
Yeah, I've watched so many videos the past 2 weeks about that bitch. Like, I mean, where the hell do you begin at this point?
It's a PR nightmare.
Yeah.
Where's my lighter? Jesus Christ! Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of these things where we're noticing this trend about these. Now she's not. Now the thing about Little Mermaid, homegirl, Halle Berry.
Halle Berry, yeah.
Halle Berry, that's what her name is. She, again, also with this Rachel Ziegler, Anna Taylor-Joy, Halle Berry, they have these wide set eyes. It's a new trend we're noticing. You've got Mexican girl, you've got black girl, you've got blonde girl. They've all got the wide eyes, right? We're right. I'm not imagining this, right?
No.
Okay, good. Because the other thing is, Rachel Ziegler, like, say what you will about Little Mermaid, but that actress was not trying to annoy everybody with her fucking bad takes. She was, doing the best she could to promote the movie she's starring in. But dude, this Ziegler character, she's worse than Brie Larson.
Yeah.
Because at least Brie Larson's hot.
People said that. It's like now she's a new Brie Larson.
Well, what's also fucked up, the reason why I hate this whore, why I've decided to draw my line in the sand against her, Snow White. I hope this movie fails. I hope this actress is terrible. See, I watched that West Side Story remake with her, and I didn't realize that she's the cunt, one of the little fucking bitches who led the hate campaign against Gina Carano because she wouldn't put those stupid pronouns in her bio.
Yeah.
Enzo, you still on that Gina Carano shit?
No, of course. I will always be on it until Disney literally publicly apologizes to her. But the thing that's funny is, like, you find out, like, the reason there were Twitter mobs that were like attacking her, right? You find out this chick was like leading those campaigns.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's literally like rallying the troops, like, hey, Gina Carano from The Mandalorian, she doesn't have her pronouns like Pedro does. Like, that's a bad look. Hey, Gina Carano, at Gina Carano. Putting your pronouns in your bio is really easy. Even I do.
Is she a Nazi? I thought.
Gina Carano? No, dude.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the media led me to believe.
Right. Don't you know by now, whenever someone tells you that they're a Nazi, that means, oh, you mean they're like a normal person who has like normal, rational opinions that you don't agree with?
Yeah, Nazi is a very like far jump.
No, exactly. It's to the point where Nazi has no meaning. It's like Boy Who Cried Wolf. I could literally find an actual Nazi and say, hey, that person's a Nazi, and people won't believe you because they'll be like,
got to make fun of them into oblivion.
Everyone's a Nazi.
It works. Just like Mel Brooks did.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about like Gina Carano being a Nazi, it's like, no, she isn't. And if you're saying that, it just shows you either A, how powerful the media apparatus is at distorting the fucking the member berries of everybody. Or literally, like, some people, that's the thing, is like bad faith actors just like lying. Person's a Nazi, FYI, not a good look. What did they do that was Nazi? What did they do that was any remotely racist or sexist or whatever you're accusing? She's a known abuser, a known racist, a known sexist. Just say that word known. This person is a known alt-right Nazi. What do you mean? Explain. And they'll have a blue link, right? It's the curse of the hyperlink. They'll just say, oh, Gina Carano is an alt-right Nazi. An alt-right Nazi will be blue. And they'll just assume you're not going to click that link. Because when you click that link, you go to the bleep blop bloop story. Yeah. And then you click that link and you click all these links and you realize like 5 stories later, like, wait a minute, she's not an alt-right Nazi. That was just fucking bullshit.
Oh, no. So I saw her dress up in blackface one time. So, but anyway,
you're confusing her with Justin Trudeau, my friend.
I think that was Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, I believe it. R.I.P. Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, shit, she died. Sorry about that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm always going to be on the Gina Carano thing, man, because it's like, it's bad enough Disney fired her, but they fired her and said that her views were abhorrent. Yeah. And it's like, dude, her views are the same.
Hardcore word.
What was she saying? She was saying, hey, by the way, they're trying to bring back the lockdowns. Are you guys cool with that? No. I don't care what the fuck they say about whatever new variant coming out.
All I'm concerned is with what has she been good in?
Haywire.
And what else?
I mean, she is good in The Mandalorian.
Fucking carried her shit.
She's good in Deadpool too. Obviously she's a wrestler. She's not my favorite actress. I mean, I'm not saying that she's far from it.
Not everyone can be the woman Rock, you know.
Yeah.
Right, but she's damn close. I mean, if anyone should have been Wonder Woman, I think she would have been a damn good contender. But the thing is, it's like, like I said, it's really not about like her body of work. Even if she was just literally a wrestler and was in no movies and she still got treated badly from fired from The Mandalorian, she went from being like one of the most popular characters in the show to hated overnight because she said, hey, don't do what the Nazis did, which was make us all rat on our neighbors, because the government told us to.
Yeah.
But hey, but she's walking away from potentially millions of dollars to do that. I think that's pretty dumb.
Yeah, I know, but it's one of those things where, of course, it's dumb. But Ice Cube
down, keep walking.
Ice Cube did the same shit. I don't think it's dumb. Ice Cube's over here laughing with what was it, Tucker Carlson or someone or Conan O'Brien? I can't remember. They're like laughing about like, you get the vaccine? It's like, of course I didn't. Ha ha ha! I lost out on $40 million because I didn't get the vaccine. I don't give a shit. Ice Cube. They want to cancel Ice Cube too, but they can't because he's black. He said fuck the police. They like he was the first motherfucker to say fuck the police. They can't get rid of Ice Cube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when Ice Cube,
I push rhymes like wait.
Yeah. I mean, Ice Cube. I mean, that's the thing. They hate this thing. They're seeing this trend where it's like we're noticing this horrifying trend of black rappers and cool people becoming, alt-right and conservative and Republicans. And it's like, they're not doing those things. They just are saying, hey, fuck Joe Biden and all these lying fucking Democrats. My God. Yeah. Like, you think I want to fucking vote for Republicans and conservatives? You've led me no choice. You fuckers are lying like crazy. Holy shit. And right now, Joe Biden, like trying to bring back the fucking, the vaccines and the masks and the mandates and the lockdowns. Why?
Right? I don't have cable.
Yeah, exactly.
I just watch streaming.
It's okay because it's not going to work. First, they're going to try bringing back COVID. They're going to try to lock us in the house because of COVID. We're all going to say no. Then they're going to say, oh, well, it's because of a global warming, climate change. And we're going to still say no. That's the other thing. These fires are so suspicious all over the world. And then on top of that, then when that fails, they're going to start saying, okay, well, it's cyber terrorism. There's fucking blackouts and cyber attacks.
Sure.
Turn your computers off because you'll get a virus. You can only get the news from the TV. That's going to be their last desperate ploy. Once like it starts becoming really evident that Joe Biden did everything they accused him of.
You think it's all anticipated? Like it's all premeditated?
Yeah, I mean, basically what I think is happening is it's this constant running cover. It's this running cover for Joe Biden and the Obamas and Hillary Clinton regimes. Because right now, like everything they're accusing Donald Trump of is stuff that they are actually guilty of. And it's like, you know, obviously, like, oh, they're saying they're going to give Donald Trump like 246 years plus the death penalty, you know, for what?
Yeah.
You know, like, get fucking real, dude. Everybody seeing this knows this is some kind of weird kangaroo court to get rid of or preoccupy the, you know, incumbent, or I'm sorry, the challenging presidential candidate. And, you know, it's going to be one thing. I mean, that's the thing is, like, when people's bullshit detectors, like, I gotta say,
he also committed a lot of fucking heinous shit, though.
Donald Trump,
Yeah, man.
like, what?
And now he's a civilian. Well,
As a civilian, yeah, I mean, he's
like, you know, he called to Georgia. He's like, we need like 11 more, you know, 111 more, 1,000, whatever it was.
Yeah, I mean, but they left out the
have him on tape.
yeah, but
And-
they left out that important. It's what's it called? They left out that
I mean, come
important
on.
sound bit where he says, "I need those votes," or something, because
Like he's pressuring the fucking guy to make that happen correctly. Like
I
that's
don't
at
want to
least
misquote
one.
this guy. I don't want to misquote this guy. But yeah, no, that's not the case. They
he's-
misquoted him. It's just like
And
the
this
great.
case has like 41 felonies on it. That's
Oh, I
crazy.
know, because it's
Hey,
literally like,
when there's smoke, there's fire in there.
bro, you don't understand. Like, everything that he's done is like stuff that, you know, like Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton have done many times over. And the other thing that he was saying, it's like, why are they waiting to charge him now? Why did they charge him 2.5 years ago when he did this shit? Because they're waiting until he's
And
running
that's
for
my whole
president.
thing. Why does the legal system take such a goddamn long time?
Yeah, I mean,
Fucking-
that's another thing that, yeah,
But
we need to
they
go to
have it
Starship
all.
Troopers times. Starship Troopers, where it's like you were arrested and
the
tried
Law and
and
Order.
sentenced that day.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
seriously, with these like
right. In Texas,
the crazy
yo
theft,
ass, if it
dude,
was
the
state,
theft, like the ransacking the stores, you
Yeah.
know, like all the Walgreens closing in California because everyone's stealing everything. This whole like theft under $1,000 isn't arrestable.
Is that
We need
right?
to start chopping off hands now. It's gotten that bad. Where like if you get caught stealing a shitload of shit, we need to just cut off your hand. And if you get caught again, we cut off your other hand. There you go. You got 2 chances. Like, because the
An eye
theft
for
in
an eye?
California
Is
is
that what
that
you're talking
bad, dude. Like, you got to see all the videos of the dudes and like
Oh,
the
dude,
guy.
you don't remember, you know, Katrina in New Orleans? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, what about toxic? Not toxic.
They had, you know,
tropic.
disasters happen and people act out.
Yeah, but what about the tropic storm Hillary? It's like, dude, California is so flooded right now. It's fucked. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine in a day or two, but
Yeah.
like the flooding is bad over there. You see like Death Valley is like practically underwater.
I haven't seen the coverage yet.
There's like rivers of well, that's the thing is you get on Twitter now because everyone's like putting shit on recording shit on their cell phone and just posting it on the internet like immediately.
So is this just a natural warming of the earth? Like they don't get hurricanes.
Well, it was a tropical storm, but
Right.
yes, I mean they got a hurricane. Did you hear about this, Chris? Oh, Chris is gone. Did you hear about the hurricane?
No, what's a hurricane?
Dude, San Diego and Los Angeles got a fucking earthquake, 5.2 earthquake during this tropical storm hurricane.
Wow.
So it's like flooding and raining and fucking like an earthquake happens on top of that. Like, dude, come on.
That's it. Yeah.
Are you shitting me? You
What else can
shitting me?
What else can you get there? Like a tornado, I guess.
Wildfires every fucking month.
Wildfire, yeah.
They don't do any purging of their natural bushfire like they're supposed to. So they get those wild. And that's the thing about the wildfires, quote unquote wildfires. Like they reek of arson. The Canadian wildfires, these Hawaiian wildfires, these Spanish wildfires, they reek of arson. I don't know if it's organized climate activists or if it's fucking laser weapons. But like, dude, like the formula is simple. Light a bunch of wildfires, claim a climate catastrophe, raise taxes, buy the land. That's exactly what they did in Canada. That's what they're doing in Hawaii. They're going to do it in Spain.
Holy shit.
It's fucked up, dude. It's
That
literally
does
like
sound
clockwork.
logical.
Yeah, no, it's like you have to understand, like Joe Biden, every time there's one of these disasters, he goes on a fucking vacation. When George Bush said no comment about Hurricane Katrina, his fucking career never recovered from that. We're talking about like maybe 1,000 people died in these Hawaiian fires, and no comment. Like, what the fuck, dude? And that's the thing about Donald Trump. Like, I don't care if you don't like him. Like, dude, Donald Trump, like, dude, the dude's daddy. When he walks into the fucking room, when he makes his presidential addresses, when he gives his speech about Hawaii and the devastation, it's like the dude gives a shit. It's like, that's why they're trying to send his ass to prison. Because he's literally just like yeah, it's gonna be really it's like that red pill, you know. This the longer you wait to realize, like, oh, damn, dude, yeah, you realize like who the good guys are and who the bad guys are. You're like, oh yeah, that's fucked up. Like you feel sick, sick to your fucking stomach when you figure this out. You're like, oh my god.
So, what's your opinion on tiki torches?
I mean, I don't get this. Yeah, are you talking about the Charleston thing? The Charleston
I
thing?
don't know. I'm just asking. I kind of like them.
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing wrong with tiki torches.
Nice ambiance.
I do. I mean, yeah, I don't really use them. I have some.
Them,
yeah, I mean, mosquitoes are the son of a bitches, you know. But see, they're so bad out here. Like, I wouldn't even bother to like hang out with the tiki torches because, like, even with the tiki torches and the off candles and the bug spray, like, I'm still probably gonna get bit by mosquitoes. They're bad out here during the summer, man. I was just in Austin, and I gotta say, like, you know, Houston compared to Austin, like the humidity levels so different. Oh, it's almost tropical over here.
Yeah, man.
But I gotta say, the land is so fertile. The land's way more fertile over here. Like I was out in Austin, and everything's dry and yellow and crispy, and all the trees are dried up and shriveled up. And there's no water. All the animals are struggling. Here, it's pretty lush. It's pretty lush out here. I do like that.
So I asked ChatGPT real quick, if you don't mind humoring me. Write a limerick about three people talking about movies and riffing about nothing and everything in a comedic rhetoric.
Yeah.
Three friends at a cafe so fine discussing movies, killing time. Have you seen that one? So absurd. Yeah. It left my brain quite disturbed.
Serbian
we
film.
chatted on with Jet and Jest about heroes and capes and villains' quests. Remember that plot hole, a cosmic rift? Ah, yes, the director's logic shift. I mean, this shit's fucking crazy, right?
A haiku about watching your favorite movie for the 100th time. Let's see.
I've like had it write so many songs and shit. It's so cool.
Oh yeah, songs. That's the thing. You'll write the song and put it out, and then realize it's already. Oh, this is easy. A haiku about watching your favorite movie for the 100th time. 100th voyage. Frames flicker. Old scenes revive. Beloved tale thrives. What the fuck?
You could ask it to write in another way.
Let's see. A dirty limerick.
And I go. How many times can you write that in a different way? It goes, and it responded, infinity, like limitless.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally just putting the same prompt in over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah, just write it differently, and like it does it.
Not a dirty limerick, a funny limerick. It'll tell me, hey, I can't make any adult jokes. Funny limerick about watching your favorite movie for the 100th time. In the chair, I reside with glee. 100 views, can't you see? Laughs and lines so absurd. On-screen magic, undisturbed. My favorite film's part of me. Huh. Cute.
That's pretty good.
So on Golden Pond, you guys, it was the first time Henry Fonda had been nominated for an Oscar in 40 years. It was the longest stretch ever until, what's his name? Judd Hirsch in The Fabelmans. 40-year gap.
Anything for Easy Rider?
No, he hadn't been nominated or nothing.
Wow.
The last time he was nominated was 1941 for, I forget the movie. Grapes of Wrath.
Right on. It's wild.
Yeah, so many fun acting trivia stuff. Here's another fun detail. The movie's about
listening.
Grandma, grandpa, daughter's boyfriend, daughter's boyfriend's son. Now, originally they wanted the movie to feature the entire Fonda family. So you have Henry Fonda as the father, Jane Fonda as the daughter, and then Peter Fonda as the boyfriend. But Peter Fonda is Jane Fonda's brother, so X-nay on that. Maybe they should have had Peter Fonda play the mailman. But the mailman was a small part, so it makes sense. Anyway, anything else you're interested in watching, Chris?
trying to think. Oh, I just watched episode 1 of because I've binged seasons now, but season 3 of Superman and Lois, and I've been saying I think that it's the only good thing that CW has, and they put it on Max. But I just watched episode 1.
I haven't seen the actual episodes, but I hate to disagree with you. I don't disagree with you entirely, but I just don't like this this Sailor Moon style Superman. This like cosmic armor thing they do where he's like goes into an alternate dimension and changes. And also the thing about big problem about Superman and Lois that they just talked about was apparently Krypton had a yellow sun, and the superhero, the Kryptonians had superpowers on Krypton. Is that accurate?
Not so far, not in this show. I mean, I just started season 3, so I mean, unless it's later in the season, I know this season because you see.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I thought, my God, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the new cartoon.
Oh, okay.
My Adventures with Superman.
No, I've heard nothing. No, I'm saying like.
Sorry.
I heard that was bad. No, I'm saying
Superman
and Lois, one that has Tyler Hoechlin where they got.
No,
kids.
yes, okay, yes.
People
I've
showed
heard good things about that.
People showed, like, I haven't got that far yet, but this season they had Lex Luthor, and they actually had Doomsday. And Doomsday, I mean, again, for CW, the CGI on Doomsday is very good for a CW budget, and apparently it's CW's most expensive show too.
Cool. Well, I saw the new Lex Luthor in that show where it's the guy from Walking Dead with a big beard, and he's like Lex Luthor is like a heavy all of a sudden, and he's got like this, more like the Gene Hackman vibe, like. I'm a man, salt of the earth, who made my billions with my high IQ.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's weird.
I got that part. I just think it's very good because, like I said, since friggin' Lois and Clark with Dean Cain, there hasn't been a live action Superman show since the 90s. This is the first live action. Well, I mean, technically Smallville, but it's not really a Superman show. But
no, I hear you.
Yeah, Superman, like Dean Cain was the last TV live action Superman, and this is really fucking good.
Good. Well, I guess since we have another week to watch these Friedkin movies, I would recommend checking out some of them, man, because they're all good. Especially I figured if you like the real gritty, real shit, like check out Sorcerer, check out Rules of Engagement, check out The Hunted. Dude, there were some fucking good ones, man. French Connection was fun. I didn't see French Connection 2, but I know he didn't make it. But also The Exorcist. Rewatch The Exorcist again. That's always good. What else? Anything you're looking forward to watching, Matt?
Looking forward to? Well, we just got this one of my buddies. Have you heard of Plex?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. One of my buddies has this huge library. So
good to have, man.
I'm not really sure yet. So I'd have to pass right now, but
check out Serial Mom with Kathleen Turner.
Any maybe I might watch Play Misty for Me.
Ooh, yeah, okay. I mean, I'm definitely we finished on Golden Pond today before I drove home. That's the other thing. Yeah. Spend all week just hanging with Meg, watching movies, eating a bunch of good food, making burgers. Made a bunch of Oklahoma onion burgers, and
I love it. Dude,
I also
Kent Rollins style.
Oh yeah, I also made some hatch pepper burgers. I also made some really good tacos. Like I said, I've been making this agua chili sauce, which is like I said, just blend up shitload of cilantro and onions, and like take those canned jalapenos and take all the liquid and lemon juice and salt and maybe an actual jalapeno or two, and just blend it up. And you can either use it as a salsa or a marinade or a brine. It's fucking good. I'm gonna make it again, and I'm gonna make a shrimp ceviche with it. Wow. So, and add some
I didn't realize that he did blue chips. I thought
right. We were talking about how blue chips. The guy who did The Exorcist and fucking Killer Joe. I want to watch Blue Chips immediately, kind of, and that's also I keep saying The Entity, but I mean The Guardian. I want to watch The Guardian tomorrow with Queef. Riff on that weird ass movie.
I mean, there's some good sports movies, like the Rookie. I mean,
it's hard to
there's a couple of them for me.
It's a tired genre, and
Blue
it's very
Chips, man. Yeah,
Blue Chips. Blue Chips is outside of the box. One of those outside of the box type sports movies. I love those.
I can't believe he directed that.
It actually makes perfect sense because it's kind of done very differently, you know, and it's got that very realistic, like I said, that gritty realism that Friedkin excels at, you know, like all those shots from like the courtyard, you know, the basketball game, you know, capturing the realism of the game, you know. In Sorcerer, dude, there's a part where because like I said, when you watch the first like 30 minutes of the movie, you don't really know what it's about. You see like a guy in Jerusalem. There's another guy in France doing his thing. There's a guy in Chicago, in Queens doing like robbing a Catholic church that's like fronted by mobsters. You know, all this crazy stuff's happening, and then like next thing you know, everyone ends up in this Central American town working in this oil rig. And dude, they start like just like showing you how they work in the oil rig, and it's like real actors in a real oil rig, like fucking doing real like tools and like, you know, big wrenches and getting all this grease and oil all over them. And it's like, hell yeah, they went to a real oil rig and just filmed a day on the job. And it's like,
so a lot of them, are they the original source material? Or
yeah, in fact, William Friedkin, the only movie he did that was based, The Exorcist is based off a book.
No,
sure.
There was another one. I read something interesting about William Friedkin, something about like all of his movies are original or not based on a book or something like that. I can't remember.
Man. I love that.
But he definitely doesn't like, he doesn't write like a lot of the movies, like he had someone else write and like he kind of like rewrites a little, but he's one of those guys that's crazy. Like I want to talk about this more on the William Friedkin stream with Luke, but like, dude, like, yeah. Like all that stuff he did on The Exorcist, like firing shotguns in people's ears so they could like get that reaction shot, you know, like
he haunted set and all that shit. Right?
Yeah,
I'm sure y'all talked about that, but
yeah. In fact, when I close us out, like let's just keep playing this commentary. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out. Actually, we've been going for 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 20 minutes. Yeah. I've literally only been in town for 4 hours, so. I guess I'll finish unpacking my stuff, and it's good chatting with you guys. But
too, man.
But for the meantime, like, let me go ahead and continue playing this commentary of this is like I said, the commentary track for Cruisin', which was Al Pacino gay undercover. So let's see here. All right. Well, and on that note, we'll just we'll see you guys next Monday, and Wednesday is Barbarella. So.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Of course it is. Various cops who patrolled this area. They were known as the Pussy.
You can hear that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, of course it is. Various cops who patrolled this area. They were known as the Pussy Posse. Everyone in this scene was a member of the club. You couldn't get actors to perform this. The owner was a man named Matty the Horse Iannello, but he was the head of the Gambino crime family. He was a friend of mine. I sent this film to the ratings board with 40 additional minutes, which amounted to pure male pornography. You know, originally Steven Spielberg was going to direct this. The first guy I talked to was Richard Gere. I think he would have been wonderful. And I got a call from my agent, who was Pacino's agent. So we decided to jump off of Richard Gere, and we went to Pacino to do it. It turned out that Pacino had no idea what the vibe was in that community.
Pacino was just not ready for it.
He would be walking down a street, and there'd be thousands of people opposing the film, yelling out, "Pacino, you f***ing f***it."
I know you thrive on, conflict.
That was great.
Yeah, this was a controversial moment.
It's a fist fucking scene.
When you were researching and you were going to these clubs, did you have to obey the dress codes? Because I read an interview with you once in which you said that you went on jockstrap night. And
Yes, and I was the ugliest guy in the room. Nobody ever hit on me. Uncle Mort had a big beer belly, and I certainly was not in the shape of an Olympic athlete. And we were the two ugliest guys in that club, I'll tell you, in our jockstraps.
And the ratings board had a big problem with this.
They had a problem with every scene. That's the guy being fist bumped.
When you first gave it to the ratings board,
We saw it all with close-up.
okay, was Pacino fine about doing that scene?
No problem.
Did Pacino discuss with you? I know he was uncomfortable doing some of the film. I know
So what?
For ages, he wouldn't talk about it.
Well, that's a good thing, because he's not very eloquent.
Is there part of you that thinks that you wish that it had been Richard Gere?
Yes, of course.